This episode of the Rhythm Pyro podcast is part of our monthly Show Roundtable series, where we engage in real talk with real pyros about anything and everything. Our guests range from Patreon supporters, pyro hobbyists, show designers, and industry personnel. The Show Roundtable episodes are uncut, unedited, and uncensored. Listener and parental discretion is advised.
Guys. That was great. That was
on that federal time,
it took
boys.
too long.
Sorry, man. I gotta run. You done fucked up and took way too long.
I have a strict bedtime here.
Strict bedtime.
That's all right. Jackson's already frustrated, so it's okay.
Your cat.
We are recording.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
Nate's best friend.
Steven, why don't you have a profile on Chrome? You should have your own. Every man should have his own profile on his
Listen,
browser.
son, I don't use computers unless I absolutely have to. And then when I do, I was waiting to tell you, like, you need to be careful in that browser history because you don't know what's going to come up. My FBI and the ATF agent does, but nobody else does.
I was waiting. It gets a little weird, man, when you go to do the old family help desk thing, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna remote into your computer, and I'm just gonna fix it for you. And people are like, wait, you're gonna do what? You can wait. Does that mean that you can like see my stuff?
Yes.
I'm like, well, I mean, yeah.
So you let me.
Yeah.
Hey, there's no shame in my game, but whatever you see needs to stay between you and me.
Well, that's right. Well, that's okay. We were on Gregory or what was it? What was the other profile that was on your Chrome? It's not even yours.
That'd be Gregory for city council, and then all Becky Lou. Should have gone on the councilman's page and started posting shit.
That is the history in the browser that you do not want to fuck up. Is a government official or someone running for office.
He's already in, so it's good.
He's already he already got the votes.
Yeah.
He's already messing it up.
Oh, we made it.
Oh my God.
Only
What
took
was that?
45 minutes.
Yeah, only took 45 minutes. It's okay.
Hey, I'm helping you boys out. This is a learning experience for all of us.
This is one of these
Nate,
days
what did you learn?
when I go
I didn't learn
hunting.
a goddamn thing.
I learned that Bo just took my computer over and did something.
He knows how to. I tell you what, though, nobody's closed out of a remote session faster. He knew where that button was. He's like, wait, all right, you done? We're in. And then all of a sudden it just said session closed.
Well, I didn't mean to close it out.
We're in it.
I was like, well, okay, what are we doing here?
Men. Welcome to Rhythm Pyro podcast, and this is Shit Show Roundtable for month February 2025. I Bo at help desk. That's AJ.
Hola.
This is Jamie.
See?
Yeah. I
wouldn't trust you for a second if you called me.
No. You do
I'd
it.
be like, you sound too American.
Click.
Yeah.
Why you click?
The accent isn't on point. You need to work on that.
I know. I gotta work on
That's
it.
the only one I
Listeners,
think you've done where I'm like, that wasn't that good.
I'm not sold. That one wasn't very good.
Oh, hello, my friend. How can I help you today? Hey, buddy. What do you need help with today?
What do they say? You got to take everything and end it with a Y.
Oh, I don't know about
Or you
that.
change every T to a Y or something like that. I watched a video where a guy did that, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's right." Someone has their TV on or something in the background. Can you hear that?
You.
It's not me.
Not me.
It's
Said
always
you.
you.
We're hanging out with Nate Freeman. What's up, Nate?
What's going on?
How you doing, Dud? Dude.
Wonderful.
Shaquille.
Stephen McKeever.
How we doing?
Did you say Shaquille?
Yeah. Shaquille McKeever.
We got a couple of OPAG homies. While the podcast here is normally a place where we can get together and talk shop fireworks, art, and share tips, tricks, news, and design insights with you, this is the Shit Show Roundtable for the month of February. And on the Roundtable episodes, we get to hang out with our Pyro buddies, Patreon supporters, listeners, clubmates, and industry homeboys and girls and talk about whatever we want. The episodes aren't scripted, as if that's not evident. They're not edited, and what you hear is what you get. And so,
Are they ever scripted?
Wants to talk about.
Yeah, believe it or not, they're not for you guys. But I have to write stuff down. Otherwise, every episode would be a shit show, and there would be zero substance to any of them.
That's why I pay $10 a month
We need to do like
to get a coaster.
in between two ferns.
It's the nicest coaster you ever had, though.
It is nice. I just wish I had 3 more. I could have a set.
I can make you some
Every
more.
year, four a set.
Coasters usually come in a set of what is it? Usually 3 or 4.
I just wasn't trying to be greedy.
Why?
I just
Why
want.
is it
I don't want $1 million. I'll
I
take
just want more.
750.
Yeah, just want more.
I ain't got no
coasters.
coaster.
You maybe should give me $5 a month.
That's a lot, man. Is that paying for my IT service?
Actually, no, it
service?
ain't that. You guys made some beef jerky, so I will give you a coaster. But then it's going to diminish the value of Nate's, and then he's going to cancel his Patreon membership. He's going to be like, well, he just fucking gave Steven one for nothing.
I'm the one who made it.
I shot the deer. Nate slaved over the stove for it. So if anything, at bare minimum, we've both earned a coaster.
Wait. I thought he shot at the deer and Nate shot, or Stefan
Nate shot at the deer. Steven hit the deer.
No, I hit shit. Nate doesn't. He hits trees and he shoots at little dogs.
I heard he shot at you. So.
Yeah, he shot at me one year. We're just going to throw that out there.
Technically, he was shot at the deer and it just went
No,
the wrong
he was
way.
aiming for that tree because, like, if that tree, that beautiful oak tree wasn't there in the way, then guaranteed that slug would have kissed me right between the ribs.
Well, maybe you shouldn't piss me off.
Maybe you shouldn't have been standing there. What are you doing hanging out with the deer?
Steven, why do you look like a juggernaut when you go hunting with Nate?
Safety first, kids. Stay strapped or get clapped.
Okay, you know what? This might be an interesting topic because I'm not a hunter in any regard. When you go hunting with buddies, is it customary
Don't shoot each other.
for everybody to stick together? Do you often split up? How does that work?
So, like, my family's got some property in Hamden down there by Lake Rupert area. And I've taken Nate, another buddy of ours from the fire department down. And the first time, like, they've never been there before, I'll give them like a walkthrough and I'll put them where there's good traffic or they're going to have good success.
Yeah.
And then I'll stick close to them or I'll go somewhere away from them, but I still know where they're at. And just kind of like, if you need anything, because like when we go top of the hill, we have cell phone service. I'll tell them, hey, if you need anything, get a hold of me. And then when you have Freeman and Reader decide to send a group text message talking about every fucking bird, squirrel, leaf they see.
Well, as long as those text messages aren't a picture of that animal with the following a chasing text message that says, "Can I shoot that?" Then I think you're good. Yeah.
Well, the animal's good if Nate's shooting because all it's got to do is hold still. I mean, it's a guarantee. Or if Nate's on his phone and he's not paying attention, then this big buck
Gets
and
a
I'm
clean
like, okay, buddy.
getaway.
But no, for the most part, they stick with me and like walking up. everybody does their own thing, but walking up, I try to give them like some tips and tricks and some hints. And I tell them, it's hunting. You're either going to have success or you're not. You got
to be patient.
Yeah. And Nate, depends on the day, his patience. He's like a toddler. I'm bored. I'm hungry. I'm cold. Can we go home? I didn't see anything.
This land sucks.
Yeah. I say that every time.
You killed everything out here. Why do you even
I'm trying to get Nate to like accidentally walk in front of the deer. And like, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know what happened.
He shouldn't have been.
I'm colorblind. I didn't know it was orange.
Yeah. Nate is pretty adorable wearing his like thick camo Carhartt gear and walk around with his little orange vest.
He does kind of look like a Teddy Ruxpin.
That's why he always asks when to go hunting, huh?
Were you wearing your little orange vest when you were downrange?
No, he was not.
The deer?
No,
Oh.
because I don't need to, because
See?
I had a 2-foot wide oak tree.
Nate said no,
Behind
he
me.
was not.
First off, why were you downrange?
Okay,
That is
first
a good
off,
question.
Shut up.
I was in a tree stand and I had a bunch of thicket and brush behind me. There's probably about 180 yards in between us. And then I'm playing Bubble Breaker on my phone, not paying attention. And I hear, and I
Didn't you just make fun
I'm
of
like,
Nate because he's playing on his phone while he's
yeah,
deer hunting?
every goddamn time we go hunting, he's on his phone.
Hypocrite.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah, but I get results, so I can be on my phone.
Yeah.
So I hear the shot, and then I hear something smack the tree behind me, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I text him. I was like, did you hit anything? And I turn around the tree, like I look around the tree, and I see these 3 deer bolting down. He's like, I shot one. I got one. And I'm like, all right. So I get out of the tree stand. I walk over there. I'm pissed. Like he shot at me. And I was like, where were you shooting?
Well, you texted back, so I think he was probably hoping that you didn't text back.
No, I seen him shoot. I ain't worried.
Did you hit anything? Nah, I guess I didn't.
They're really
So
hard
you
to
play
see.
Bubble Breaker while you're hunting, and he plays Deer Hunter on his phone.
He plays Duck Hunter. He's looking for that damn dog to pop out of the brush.
He thought you were the dog.
Yeah. Little bastard.
Well,
He doesn't
that's
know, but when I give him rounds, they're all blanks from here on out.
So you've been conditioning
That explains
him.
a lot.
You've been conditioning him to make him think
You
that
got
he's a
it.
terrible shot.
You hit it.
Okay, so I took him muzzle loading, and
What is that? Hold on. What's muzzle loading?
So you got 3 seasons for deer. You got bow, archery, which those are for girls and
Yeah, okay.
sissies. Real men use a gun, not a bow and arrow. What are you freaking for going to archery camp?
But you were downrange and he was uprange. Were you hunting with a sawed off or a Glock or something?
No, so I hunt with a 870 tactical shotgun, an old OSP shotgun. I paid $150 for it. That thing's been dead on accurate. Nate went out and bought this $500 shotgun, and he can't even hit the fucking broadside of a barn, but he can hit an oak tree that you're standing behind.
What gauge is yours, Nate?
12 gauge.
It's a 12 gauge.
Yeah.
And then, so you got shotgun season, which is a week, and then you got an extension, and you have muzzleloader, which you can either use modern inline or the old flintlocks. But I had 2 modern inlines, and I gave Nate one, and I had one. Well, I put him in the chicken coop. It's a little building, probably 8 feet by 3 feet, and had little cutouts because another buddy got chainsaw happy and cut a bunch of holes out.
Yeah.
And so Nate's sitting in there. I walk around. I text him I'm walking around. And I come back up. I'm walking up towards him. And there's a deer standing right by the door where he goes into this chicken coop. And I text him. I was like, hey, dumbass, you got a deer right outside your door. And the deer starts stomping and blowing at me. And Nate didn't respond. So I'm like, fuck it. Crack that round off. And I dropped it. Nate pokes his head out and he's like, my fucking gun went off. And keep in mind, when you shoot a muzzleloader, you got a bunch of smoke coming out of the barrel. And I'm like, no, dumbass, I shot it. So the deer's like screaming and crying. And I'm like, fuck. So I was like, hey, give me your knife. He gives me like a butter knife. It's dull. And I go to put it down and like finish it, and I'm not getting anywhere. So I just kind of like covered its mouth. I'm like, shh, just take your dirt nap. I was like, you're scaring the rest of them off. Like, I want to get one more. Shh. And Nate's like,
Your basement's getting checked tomorrow.
probably. I lost him in a boating accident. But Nate's like, I thought I was just standing there, and I kept hearing something move around outside, and I thought my fucking gun went off. And I was like, where was your muzzleloader? He's like, it was leaning in the corner of the building behind me. I said, so how is your goddamn gun going to go off if you don't even have it in your hands? He's like, I don't know. That's what I thought was crazy. The gun went off.
It was divine, man. The Lord was working through the tree's trigger finger.
Right. No, it was working through me because Lord knows I put him down. Nate doesn't. I think secretly he works for PETA and he's like diming me out.
He's keeping a tab on what do you get every time you kill a deer? You tag it. Is it a deer tag or something that you got to turn in when you kill one?
Yes.
Legally,
yeah,
I'm obligated to tell you yes.
Okay, got it. They don't have a digital system for doing that now.
So years ago, like when I was hunting with out of high school, they had deer check-in stations. So you had to like write it down on a tag on a piece of note paper and tie it to the deer. Then you had to take it to an ODNR checkpoint at like a gas station. And, I mean, keep in mind we're in Benton County, Ohio, so there's ain't a whole lot down there. But you take it in there and then you check it in, and then they'll write you a slip and hand it to you. And then if you take it to a processor or a taxidermist, they'll take that. That way they're covered if ODNR inspects them. But now I can literally smack one, get on my phone in 30 seconds, type in my information, submit it, and I'll get a confirmation kill notice. And then I just have to keep that on my persons and then send it to the processor or taxidermist if it goes that route.
Yeah. What is the point of that whole system? Is it to keep track of the population in certain counties? Your auto insurance companies dictate how many deer are killed each year, the bag limit each year for deer season. So if you have a higher crash rate in a county, you get more kills. And that system's designed to track and kind of monitor to see how many deer are taken out of population. Huh. I remember you talking to me kind of about that at Octoblast. And it was eye-opening, the whole auto industry thing.
Yeah.
How much influence and control it seems like they have over that process.
Yeah, because like Benton County's always been like a 2, and then a couple of years it's been a 3 deer limit. But I mean, you're allowed 6 for the season.
Yeah,
that's if you bow hunt, shotgun, and muzzleloader. But you can only get, if there's a 3 deer limit in Ross, I can only get 3 deer in Ross County. There's 2 in Benton, I can only get 2 in Benton, and I have to go somewhere else to legally get the 6 kills. But
jeez. Wow.
I don't. My freezer ain't big enough to hold 6 of them.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of meat, right? I mean, 6 deer. If you killed 6 deer in a year, depending, I don't know what an average haul is for the amount of poundage for meat that you get out of a deer, but
I'd say about 100, wouldn't you, Steven?
Well, so the biggest doe I've ever shot, like gutted, when she was gutted, when we hung her, was 286 pounds. So wow, she didn't miss no meals. She was the fat girl working the woods. But you'll lose about 40% of that from fur and bone.
Wow.
And carcass and remains.
Jeepers, man.
But
I mean, how long would it take you to eat that?
Well, my house, nobody really likes it. It's too gamey. I'm like, it's not.
Really?
It's actually healthier than the shit you're buying at the store. But Nate and we make deer jerky, And then Nate made some summer sausage, 2 years ago?
Last year.
Man, that stuff that you guys make is really good. I'm out already.
You know, if you could have brought your mobile rig to my house, I could have made a charcuterie of assorted venison snack sticks.
Oh. I just put my pinky up.
Yeah, we're classy.
Katie says the same thing about venison being too gamey, but I like it. I think it's pretty good, especially if you season it the right way.
If you make it the right way and all that, it really doesn't have that type of a taste to it.
Yeah, I mean, the venison that you guys have given me the last couple of years, I don't ever think that. I mean, it almost made me forget that I was eating deer because it didn't taste gamey at all.
Yeah, so my job is to go in the woods, cuss a lot, threaten to burn the place to the ground so I can see everything for miles, and then get a deer.
Monitor your text messages.
I call Nate to come bail me out and help me drag it out. Sometimes he helps, sometimes he doesn't. My dad comes down and helps me typically. And then I take it to another buddy of mine. He processes it and I'll help him. We cut it up and then he gets rid of the carcasses and the bones and the fat and the meat that's no good. He gives it to his uncle who has a wolf dog. So he'll cook it all up and give it to that wolf dog. So that saves me on getting rid of the trash. And then I grind everything and then mix the pork for the binder and then give it to Nate. And Nate puts his little Wolfgang Puck flair on it.
Wolfgang Panda.
You just come on down to Gravy Farms and we'll get you some more.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. So we're going through and packaging all this stuff up, and he's like, I bought this little label maker off Temu. And I'm like, you're not putting your fucking Gravy Farms logo on the deer meat. So he starts smearing all these logos. He's getting particular. He's like, you got to put it this way. It's got to be perfect. This, and this. You represent my name brand. And then I'm like, okay. So I put it on Facebook that I'm selling it. And he's like, you got to be careful doing that shit. And I was like, my name ain't on that fucking package. Yours is. So you kind of shot yourself in the foot on that one there, homie.
You want me to turn this or not? You want to sell it or don't you want to sell it?
The gravy dozen.
The gravy dozen.
So do you guys shoot fireworks anywhere near you go hunting at?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sounds like we should be shooting fireworks.
Well, so here's the thing. So Jamie come down and he brought a couple.
How the fuck is it that Jamie has been to every single person that I know's house to shoot fireworks? And then I find out about it like I find out about it like this. I think he does the same thing that he does with me when he goes on sales calls. He just shows up in front of their house and then stands in front of the Ring doorbell camera until somebody answers the door or they don't.
He was a no-show for the appointment at my house today.
I was in Dayton.
It's not Chillicothe.
I know. I got detoured.
What were you doing? Did you go out there and shoot product, Jamie?
What, at Stevens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you really?
For the board testing, yeah.
Yeah, for Nate's demise. He gave Nate a little taste of what he's getting into.
Yeah, I even gave Nate some of the product from my board.
Yeah.
This is true.
I remember that. I don't remember you saying you shot anything.
Well, okay, so Jamie's down there and I took him up to the old barn site. And him and Nate are they're geeking out with what they're doing for each other's boards. And I'm like, cool, whatever. And after that, 2 days later, I get a text from Jamie and he's like, I got poison ivy. I'm like, you're in a field. There's no poison ivy. And he's like, I can just look at it. I can smell it from 2 miles away and get it.
He's a first responder. He would know what poison ivy looks like.
Third responder.
third responder.
He's a federal employee. And technically, he's a last responder because he works for the coroners.
Eat, sleep, respond.
The final responder.
Can't say that. Daddy Elon might be listening.
The last will and testament.
Elon might be listening.
Okay, keep going.
Maybe he'll give you early retirement.
Nah, he's going to get deported back to China.
At least I won't have a tariff on fireworks.
True.
That's
He's
only
our new
10%.
resource hookup, or our
This is
supplier.
true. This is true.
But yeah, they were
Kirby's
down there
fireworks.
and they were looking around. And Nate and I were down there 2 days ago. And there's another spot. It plateaus up. And I had a bunch of old pine trees. There's a bunch of undergrowth there. I'd like to clear it out. And him and I were talking about maybe clearing that, opening it up for a better spot to.
How much room you figure that'd give you?
If I cleared it all out and leveled it, I could probably get good 4 or 5 acres, a flat spot, and it's up on a hill.
No kidding.
But Nate was saying that there's some trees in because the hill's up to the left of the facility, and then you got the base where everybody kind of pitches their tents and camps out.
Yeah.
And then across the field, I have a big burn pit and an AEP pole, which kind of hard to shoot fireworks next to that. They're already bitching about the big bonfires I have down there, so I don't want to give them anything else.
What's an AEP pole?
Power line.
Oh, okay.
So, but I want to clear the top of that hill, and because Nate's like, we could shoot fireworks down there, and I'm like, where at? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, what
Is
about
it
across the
completely
facility?
Is it completely secluded?
And
Yes.
yeah.
You can't even call somebody
Yes.
to say, where's this driveway at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's honestly, that's what we need. And here we are conspiring live on air about
Drive into the next
discharging
town.
fireworks
Hey, Nate,
not on
where's
holidays.
the driveway at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
I
back
know.
about 4 miles.
But I figure if that's where you would want to have a spot, right? You would want to have a spot that's far away from that. Now, I don't know what is there people hunting out there during the year? Because you said camping and stuff. So I would imagine would they probably get pissed if people were shooting fireworks? And because that has to scare the wildlife to some degree.
Honestly, that ain't my problem. I get mine. Hell, if it's easy, everybody be doing it.
You're just training them.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
Get
doing
used
it.
to the noise. So that way when Nate stomps through the forest, they don't run away.
But no, as far as I know, no. There's like a couple of the neighbors. They want to run their dogs on the property and for like raccoon hunting and rabbit hunting, and I don't want them there. You know what I mean? You don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
You're not paying the bills. I don't want you just coming in, looking around. I work hard for what I got. I don't need you to steal it to supply your meth habit.
It is Benton County.
Yeah, two of the neighbors. One neighbor, he was married, or his brother was married to this woman. He died, then he married her.
Yeah.
After his brother died, which that's not weird. Then one neighbor, then to the right, they went to prison for thieving. And him and I have had rounds about his stupid ass dog. And then another neighbor is a Vietnam vet. So he worked with napalm. So anytime like I have fireworks or have a bonfire, test tannerite, he's always intrigued.
That would be fun. I would like to test tannerite. Or shoot tannerite. I can't remember what I was watching. Maybe it was that Bud Light. It was either that Bud Light Kid Rock thing where he was shooting it, or maybe I was watching that. Was it Tiger Joe that did that?
Oh,
he was shooting tannerite.
Yeah, Tiger King.
Yeah. That's it. Tiger King. Yeah. That's it. That's the one.
Goddamn Carol Baskins.
Yeah,
Carol Baskins.
Yeah, right. That stuff looks really cool. What's the explosive classification of tannerite?
Well, here's the thing. So that's kind of a gray area in Ohio. You can legally purchase it, but you're not supposed to discharge it.
So it's like fireworks used to be.
Okay. So, I mean, would it fall under the same legality or class? Is it essentially Proline? Is it UN 0431?
I don't know what's on it.
I'm looking right now.
I thought I read somewhere once that it was UN 0431. Tannerite. Reactive rifle targets. 1 pound of tannerite.
Ooh, in Ohio, mixing the components of explosive targets, including tannerite, without a permit is 2nd-degree felony.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, yep. Wow. Well, you're the one that said it.
We don't
I
talk
didn't
about
say
that.
shoot it. He said test it.
Test it. Yeah.
He's testing the weight.
Well, how do you test it?
compatibility.
It's for science.
For science.
Yeah, you
Just
got to
look
check
at
the
it.
color compatibility, the weight differences.
Oh, that's
test
probably how that's probably how they can ship it. They keep it separate, and then it's like a compound that you need to mix.
Oh, it's separated. As soon
Yeah,
as
it's
it
just
gets
two
mixed,
components.
It explodes.
Yeah.
It's stuff you can easily get a hold of
Huh.
at your local hardware store.
Well, I'm a good boy, so I won't be doing that. I
Just
don't
remember, it's not a felony
think
the first time.
It's not a felony until you get caught.
Get caught.
Store
That's where you network and you know get to know your local law enforcement entities and personnel.
No. We'll just go to Chad's house. He's not in Ohio, in Indiana.
Or so the funny thing is, there's a rock quarry 10 miles down the road.
Yeah.
And they always do, that, and then they set off their charges. And it just so happens if you know how to do math, 2 + 2 is chair.
What?
You can't tell where the boom came from. And then,
okay. So it's like the old escape scene with Andy Dufresne when he's timing the lightning strikes and the thunder strikes out when he's trying to bust a hole in that pipe.
Yeah.
AJ, that's probably what happened at the hospital. That's probably why you're hearing all that water.
Yeah.
I
doubt it.
Somebody broke out in the middle of the night through the shit pipe.
I thought you were going to say that's what happened to the hospital. They gave your mom the wrong baby.
What?
He's like, what?
you'll have that on them big jobbies.
Huh.
I can't find a classification on it. That's weird.
I thought Tannerite made.
I see
because it's separate
fireworks.
compounds. And I think
I
there's
see
separate
1,4-G
classifications.
fireworks tannerite.
Yeah.
But I don't see like the actual.
Huh.
I looked up. Let's see, quarter pound
I'm sure there'll be a voicemail about it.
I like this. I like this one FAQ about 6 or 7 points down. How could something so fun be legal?
So Idaho just passed a law to where there is no legal limit on how much tannerite you can discharge at a time.
Oh my. Oh
so
my.
You could do half a pound. You could do 100 pounds. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a limit in Indiana either.
I kind of want to go to Idaho and say, what's
I'm
up?
pretty sure there's people I know that have set off 100 pounds recently.
Jeepers, man.
Yeah, when you start getting that big, though, it's like big
That's
girls.
a rather large explosive.
Yeah, they're fun, but it makes a lot of damage. A lot of people get hurt.
Yeah, but if it's in the middle of nowhere, you soon have a pond.
Yeah.
No,
And there was a pond there last time
that's how
I
you get a
went,
lake.
so that's weird.
I mean, if you want to spend $3,500 to make a 100-pound bomb,
Explains why the lake pond is so uneven.
Hey, I'd try it for science.
I tried for science.
Yeah.
I'll make Bill Nye, the science guy, proud of me.
What's the reaction in tannerite? I mean, is it heat?
Pressure.
Or is it impact?
Heat. It's a mixture of heat and pressure.
Is it heat and pressure or friction and pressure?
Because when you mix, if you add a third chemical in there, you could technically discharge it with a handgun round because it's slower, but you also got to get a lot closer and it gets a little sketchy. I watched a YouTube video on that.
Yeah.
Cough, cough.
It says something has to hit it traveling 2,000 feet per second. Low velocity bullets and shotgun ammunition will not trigger a reaction.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Huh.
For safety reasons, Tannerot Sports recommends using no more than 1 pound of a mixed opposition at one time.
That's interesting that it's velocity based. So does it say whether or not that's a friction reaction? I mean, at 2,000, would you say 2,000 kilometers per second?
2,000 feet per second. 2,000
feet per second?
Yeah. I just put it in redneck terms. Friction makes fire, fire makes boom.
I don't have to buy that 50 cal now. What kind of range I got with this?
You see that up there? 1.2 miles away. I'm going to hit it. I got this.
I don't need no concussion grenades or concussion bombs.
Yeah.
If you guys would like to learn some science, we can have a little study group. And then there will be a final exam.
There will be a final exam. Is passing the final exam, do you have to hit something from far away?
Yes.
That might be like Nate.
Well, define far away, because I mean, depending on what you're doing, if there's an object or objects over it, under it, around it, in front of it, behind it, makes a difference. But when you start doing that shit, that's when you're risking getting shit blown back at you or getting hurt. And that takes the fun out of it.
Yeah. Maybe Nate, you know what? I mean, other than the fact that Nate is colorblind, maybe Nate, are you right eye dominant or left eye dominant?
I'm right eye.
Are you? See, I can't shoot rifles because I'm cross eye dominant.
I don't know, but I did not know he was colorblind until halfway through him helping me label my board.
That's because he's trying to sabotage you.
I didn't know he's colorblind until after everything was over and half his show didn't go up. And he's like, yeah, well, you mean when I looked at the remote and all the continuity, I couldn't tell you what color any of those little lights were. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? I thought he was pulling my leg at first. Like, oh, here we go. AJ's not even here and I can't get away from this colorblind shit.
I mean, I was using uncolorblind friendly labels and he tells me that. And I'm like, wait, what? So I'm sitting there watching him as he plugs in everything. I'm like, okay, that works.
Nate never told you the top light, middle light, or bottom light?
No.
He probably did, but
AJ's told me that it's hard, like traffic lights are hard.
They're not hard unless they're horizontal. So like that confuses me. So like it's the red and yellow.
Yeah.
They mess with me because I'm like, oh, which one is it? Because at least when they're up and down, I can tell by like top and bottom.
Well, you know the middle one's yellow,
because every
right?
single light that you've seen your entire life, you know, like you just predominantly know which one is the go light and which one is the stop light.
If there's no cops around, they're all go lights.
Yeah.
It's the ones when you're traveling down a back road in the middle of nowhere and it's just blinking. I'm always like, Amber, is it
red or
blinking?
yellow?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know my thing. You're like, I'm just going to stop because I don't want to get hit.
Stop or am I supposed to go? Now I know why people stop and it makes me so mad. It's a freaking yellow light. Go.
That's right.
I just need to slowly roll through them.
No, you don't. You hammer down.
When you get pulled over, it's like, officer, I am colorblind. I thought it was yellow.
That's right.
I never thought about that. They make you take an eye test for driving, but they don't make you take a color test.
Sure.
Yeah, how messed up is that?
I don't, the red green thing as it pertains to the color spectrum that street lights or, you know, traffic lights are putting out. I think they're on a spectrum where they think that you can figure it out.
I'll tell you this. The green light looks like clear to me.
It looks white.
Clear color. Yeah.
Really?
Mine's white. It looks white.
White.
Like when I was little, everyone used to say red light, green light. I'm like, That's a white light.
White light.
Yeah, white
light. Squid Game's on a whole new level.
Well, it's a good thing in Squid Games there wasn't an actual light.
AJ would not have made it.
Nate was in the truck one day. He was driving. I think my blood sugar was low. And we're driving down Main Street and the lights turning yellow. And he's just going through and I was like, red light. And he just right through the intersection.
Oh, what an ass.
and right in front of a state trooper. And I was like, you just blew the shit out of that red light. And he's like, oh, top light? It was still middle. And I was like,
middle.
No, dude, it was a solid top light for like 30 seconds, homie. You just smoked it. It's fine.
Oh God. He doesn't get that. It's middle light. Just give him shit over which position the light is in.
Get some bumper
So is there any, actually, I'm thinking about
two.
this now. Is there any orange colored signs? Like I know there's yellow, like for like the house.
Like construction signs are typically orange.
Or working signs.
Yeah.
It's orange.
Orange. Construction signs are usually orange. Yield signs are yellow. So do you see a difference between, or no, wait, yield signs are red. Right?
Yeah, they're red with the white.
Which ones are yellow? Is it like the school bus?
Like the schoolhouse.
Like your chevrons and
slow kids playing.
Well, and like what's the yellow one on the side that's like got arrows when you're like, it's telling you there's a turn coming up and such?
Yeah, chevrons. Tells you the curves left or curves right.
Do you see a noticeable difference in those? Does one look more yellow than the other?
Oh, that's why I was asking if any. Oh, no, I just know that everything's yellow. So that's what I thought was yellow. That's why even the orange ones. I'm like thinking, is there orange that I've been thinking is yellow this whole time?
But it doesn't appear like it has a like a darker tint to it or a darker hue. They all look shade-wise the same.
Yeah.
Really?
What color is the colorblind crossing signs?
Gray and dark gray.
Dark gray, medium gray, light gray.
Officer, gray is not your color.
Officer blurry face.
Officer blurry face.
Well, like like the ODOT trucks now, they have that safety green and
red, green,
white,
and yellow.
You mean the white
flashers. They all look
God,
clear to me.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference between that.
Are you colorblind too?
I'm color deficient.
That's what I say. That's right. I'm color deficient.
No, you're colorblind, homie.
I can see colors.
Me too. Dear Lord. You guys
you just said earlier that you can't see the deer because they blend in.
It's true. Yes. That is totally true. I have a buddy that I used to ride into work with all the time. And we'd go down this hill by my house. And every time he'd slam on the brakes, he's like, right there, look. You see those 3 deer bedding down? I'm like, I don't see shit, man. He gets out and like throws something out there and then they take off running. I'm like, holy fuck, where'd they come from?
Yeah.
Nate said the same thing when he's hunting.
Yeah. It's not worse. It's true though. Like you can't see nothing. Like when I go paintballing in the woods, or when I used to, you go out there and everyone's like, he's right there on the tree by the right. I'm like, I don't see nothing. And then you see movement and I'm like, oh, I see him. Okay.
I would love to go paintball with AJ now. I'll just stand and act like I'm a tree.
Yeah, that's why I don't like playing in the woods as much. I don't want like speedball or like things that are colorful that people can move around.
I'm going to be a tree.
It sounds like you should just wear like a green jumpsuit, but you got to make sure that you're only playing AJ.
Or white.
Or just dress up like a traffic light.
Or just wear camo. I mean, green light. You could crawl on the ground. I probably wouldn't see you.
Not just AJ. We can play with Nate too.
Yeah, I never realized don't
worry, Nate. You can be in my team. We'll smoke the shit out of him.
Nate will shoot you.
Instead of shirts v skins, it's going to be normal pigment guys versus the colorblind.
You know, maybe your vision is fucked up and ours is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one, dude. I like that. Maybe you're the weird one.
Seeing colors is overrated.
Sound like Waterboy. Mama said that all the colors are the same. You guys are making shit up.
For the longest time, I had this apparently purple key tag on my key ring. I thought it was blue the entire time until one day someone used my keys to access the door at work, and I told him, it's the blue key. You don't have a fucking blue key on here, Nate. It's the fucking blue key. There's only one blue thing on there. Apparently it was purple.
I wore it's as Amber said, it's pinkish shirt to work. It was a shirt that I got that was trash, and I used to wear it to work all the time.
You didn't know it was pink.
And I didn't know it was pink. And it wasn't until Amber said, that shirt looks really good. And I'm like, I like it. I like this red color. And she's like, that's like a pinkish. I'm like, this is a fucking pink shirt. You've been letting me go to work with a pink shirt. And sure enough, I stopped wearing it. All the guys at work, they're like, hey, where's your pink shirt? You never wear your pink shirt anymore. I'm like, dude, I didn't know it was fucking pink.
I found out it was pink.
Yeah, exactly.
Found out it was pink, and that ain't my thing.
Shit, I had a pink insulin pump for 4 years.
A pink what?
Oh, we believe
Insulin
that.
pump? I worked
that's
at
because someone who would take it, right?
No. So I worked at a diabetic camp. I was a camp counselor, and apparently insurance doesn't cover insulin pumps if they get lost in the river when you're canoeing. So I lost my pump in the river, and one of the female campers broke her pump. They sent my black pump in her name and then her pink pump in my name. And you know how hard it is to argue with a freaking 12-year-old girl that you need to take the pink insulin pump because you're a girl. I cannot wear this. And at the time I was a deputy. So I had an all black uniform, and that's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And she's like, no, black's my favorite color now. And I'm like, you bitch. So I had a pink insulin pump for 4 years. I've lost it twice in the woods. And luckily, because it was pink, I found it. But when I was working as a deputy, guys would give me shit about it. And I was like, oh, yeah? Well, I support breast cancer awareness. And they're like, oh, shit, man.
So
I'm
does
like, yeah, suck that.
I didn't know, man. I'm sorry.
AJ. That's what you should have done.
Well, AJ wouldn't have known any better. And it sounds like Nate wouldn't have known any better either. That's what you could have used Nate as an out that entire time with pump. You'd be like, yeah, I do it to fuck with my buddy. He thinks he's red.
Shit, I'm afraid to teach him how to work it because one day I'm not going to wake up because he's going to over-bolus me. I don't know. Maybe he's corner so he can cover everything up.
And plus.
That's why Nate ain't saying nothing. He's like, yep. Keep talking, motherfucker.
I had to update my pump for this new CGM.
Wait, what are we talking about?
And went through and I got everything set up, and Nate's like, well, how do you do this? And I'm like, I'm not teaching you shit, dude. The more you know, you're a liability.
Yeah, Nate's got to know something about those, though.
He knows enough to make them dangerous.
Yeah.
Are the buttons color coordinated?
No,
The yellow one, man.
They're black and white.
They're numbered.
Shit, yeah, they are numbered.
They make shapes for the really...
they got braille on them.
Color, and they have shapes.
Braille. Do you remember when a lot of these, didn't touchstone phones have braille buttons on them?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I could barely remember.
I forgot about that.
Phones.
I know.
Baby.
I didn't think about it until you said, they got braille buttons on them. Like, oh,
baby
what
how does blind people use
electronics?
cell phones nowadays when it's all touchscreen?
They talk to it.
They probably, yeah.
Well, how do they dial the number? They're like, I don't know what app's open right now.
They just say call.
Yeah, right. Excuse me, sir. I'm lost. I'm lost on my own phone. I don't know where I'm at.
They hold that button on the side and say call such and such.
That's true. The programming probably, you hit a button and it's like, hey, what do you want to do? Where you want to go? I'll take you anywhere you want to go. It doesn't matter where we are.
Play Store.
If you think
Pornhub. Play Store.
If you think you got a lot of apps open on your phone and you can see, just wait until you see what a blind person's app history looks like. I've never closed an app on my phone.
All 50 Shades of Grey audiobooks.
Oh,
What's
man.
a red room?
Dude, I went to, where did I go?
Say where to work.
I went to a Popeyes about a week ago, and I was doing emails.
Popeye's chicken is
And there was an older gentleman that came into the Popeyes, and he sat like 2 or 3 tables down from me. And I have my headset on so I can listen to I can listen to a podcast or listen to the news or something while I'm eating and doing emails. And this dude he plopped down. He opened when I say open his phone, he had one of those like, what's that fancy phone that's got like 2 big fat screens on it? You know what I'm talking about?
You open it up. Yeah.
It's like a book or whatever. But he opens it up and he stands it up on the table. And he was one of those guys that just cranks the volume and just listens to like ESPN, and he had CNN on at one point. And I'm like, oh man. And I had my headphones on too. And so I could hear it through my headphones. So I was just like, I don't want to be the rude guy that just gets up and moves to a different spot in the Popeyes. I mean, it was like me, him, and one other person in the store, but I wasn't going to be that dude that did that. It just drives me nuts when people do that.
No, you got to establish dominance. You got to get up, sit down next to him and stare at him.
Just
dip your chicken in his seasoning.
Just
and then
start watching it with them.
Yeah. Put your arm
You
around
turn
it.
move
up.
over, man.
Can you turn that up?
Move over, man. What's Don Lemon talking about today?
So I got a Popeye story. I was doing
I'd
some
love to hear
traveling
it.
work, and I was up in Toledo area, and Nate just talking Popeyes up.
So good.
And no, it's horrible.
No, it's so good.
No, the one. Okay, if you go to
You had a
Toledo,
bad
Popeyes
experience,
in
it sounds
Toledo,
like.
they had bulletproof glass at the pull-up window for the drive-through.
Huh.
And I'm
That's
like, what kind
Toledo.
of redneck ghetto shit is
It's
this?
Toledo.
Yeah, totally do. Like, fuck that. So I ordered my food, and I'm going down. I get back on the highway, and I'm going to my next job site. And I open my food up. There's flies in my freaking biscuit, and the chicken was just uncooked. It was like,
Ooh.
oh, it was horrible. I threw it out the freaking window. I was like, nope,
Ooh.
not today.
One time
Not
I
today.
did have
Now you
chicken
know why
that
the
wasn't
bulletproof
cooked all the way
glass.
once at a Popeyes. And that it did kind of gross me out, but not enough to keep me away. I think it's so good when it is cooked.
That's my experience with McDonald's.
Nah, if I'm going to get
Raw
chicken
chicken
anywhere, it's
nuggets.
got to be Lord's Chicken. Got to get that Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Lord's Chicken. Okay. I thought you were going to say, I thought you literally, the name of the restaurant was Lord's Chicken. I'm like, I don't know that one.
There's the church's chicken, but I ain't been there.
It's good.
Chick-fil-A is really, really good too.
I'm not culinary experienced as Nate Freeman.
You guys probably do a lot of your own cooking though.
I do anyway.
Yeah.
I
You're a
used to.
foodie.
I'm lazy anymore.
I bet Nate makes a really good country fried steak and mashed taters.
Ooh.
He eats healthy. He's into his kale and organic stage.
There's stages. I haven't gone through that
Nate,
one,
you
I
got
guess.
any good slow cooker chicken recipes?
Oh, I'm
Pressure
sure
cookers.
I do.
Yeah. Can you send me some?
I could. Do you have Google?
Cooked already.
I do.
Cooked already. He just needs
But
to put it in the microwave.
everyone that I've done, I don't like the seasonings that are in it. You know, everybody tells you, they give you this long list of seasonings to put in, and then I have it afterwards, and it's either way too garlicky, way too oniony. It's to the point where anytime somebody says put half an onion or a full white onion in something, I go bullshit. I'm not doing it because it's way too. It hits me way too much.
So if I
all
ever
I
follow
taste.
if I ever follow recipes like that, I put my own seasoning into it.
So you just kind of wing it and do your own thing.
Yep.
Nate does the WWPD method. What would Panda do? And And
taste,
he's pretty
add
on
seasoning.
point.
Taste, add seasoning. See, that's I would never. I always felt like the eating of the meal and the tasting of the meal, I wanted to be two separate events. I didn't want to eat so much of the meal trying to get the meal just perfect that I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice, because I'll build the whole thing up and then eat it in one sitting and just be disappointed. And then it's like you just feel like you got to wait until you do it again before you have a second go at it.
That happens.
My mom was like, she would taste everything for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it would be really, really good.
You've never like smoked a pork butt and while it's resting, just keep picking at it. And by the time it's ready, you're full.
No, but I've done that plenty with slow cooker recipes at the end.
Done that.
You got to stay away from, tasting the stuff in the slow cooker before hour 4 starts. Things they're a little raw at that point.
Every time you open the lid on that, it adds like 2 hours onto it.
What?
Yeah.
No, does it really?
Yeah. Hey, you're letting everything out when you take the lid off. Now it all makes sense.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn it, Bo. This is why we don't have good food.
This is why Katie never asked me to cook.
Or you strategically did it that way. I might have sabotaged a few meals in my days to get out of cooking.
Just need to invest in a pressure cooker. Be done with it.
We had one of those at one point. We kind of, it's downstairs, just sitting in a corner. We like the slow cooker better. And when I say I mean, I prefer it because when I did make stuff in the slow cooker, it was just dump and go and then come back and then smell stuff. But apparently that was illegal and I was doing myself a
I like it
disservice
when the
by
wife
doing
makes
that.
a roast in the slow cooker.
Mm-hmm.
Smell it in the morning before I go to work, and I come home to the succulent, fall apart meat, carrots, potatoes in your mouth. Oh my God, I want to roast
You
right
need
now.
a second there, fat kid.
I may.
I second that. That's so good.
Or, pulled pork, just.
But see, here's what Nate will do. So Nate we'll go to a buddy of ours, and he'll do like a pork butt or a pork shoulder, and then Nate will sit there and critique it quietly with me, and then our buddy will come up. And he's like, "Yeah, that was really good." And then on the way home, he's like, "That wasn't that good. Mine's better." I'm like, "Did you have to prep it? No. Did you have to season it? No. Did you have to cater to it all day? No. Then why are you bitching? Free meal's free meal."
Well, but the man just wants you to know his is better.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you know what I mean. To each is their own. But
even if
when you're right, you're right. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. See, because Nate likes really hot and spicy stuff, so he made a set of jerky, and he added kind of his own stuff to it. And we gave it to a couple guys at the firehouse, and they absolutely loved it. I tried like a small piece. I was out for 2 days.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're a sissy." And I'm like, "No, I don't like hot stuff, and I don't like having bubble guts for 3 days. I want to enjoy my deer jerky."
Spicy stuff do you in?
I don't like it hurting when it comes out.
Yeah.
That's
It
what he
burns
knows
going
good.
down. It burns coming out. That's no bueno.
I'm not a big fan of super spicy stuff. Mingy's spicy jerky is about as spicy as I go.
That's got a good spice to it.
The spicy jerky that you guys made this year, I liked quite a bit. And I'm not huge on spicy stuff.
Meat.
I just made an actual hot batch the other day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you put in the hot batch?
So it starts off with just the base seasoning that comes in whatever packet, and then I just go through my little cupboard and throw a little bit of this in there, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
In there.
A little bit of that.
Next time we're all together, we should do that the hot wing challenge thing.
No.
Oh boy.
No.
Why not?
because I can't eat hot wings. I had hot wings for B-dubs, and I think they were the blazing ones.
Ooh,
I just
those
put
are
one in
good.
my mouth because somebody handed it to me, told me, oh, no, it's just a sweet barbecue. I'm like, okay, it smells hot. No, it's just sweet barbecue. It's from being in the same box. As soon as that thing touched my lips hurt for like hours. Hours.
Like your poison
I
ivy.
didn't eat it. I'm like, how do people eat this shit?
Yeah, that
Just
stuff
goes down.
Yeah.
I know, right? I just
No,
gotta
it
have
never
some
stops
kind of
going down.
something to like go after it, like a
When
slight
your
chaser.
lips are damn numb, how do you even enjoy that shit? Makes no sense.
Nate, you like to sweat when you eat, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. High five. Maybe it's a colorblind thing.
I think it's more of a dumbass thing.
Yeah, I was going for that too.
Maybe he's got some Spaniard in him.
It never burns when it comes out, though.
We'll have to find something spicy at Cobra Con then.
You're getting your
Stevie
own
won't
room.
be there.
You get in your own room.
I paid for the fucking room.
Get your own goddamn room.
I gave you cash.
Joke's on you. It's a king bed.
You're sleeping on the fucking floor then, bud.
King bed with a pull out.
I don't pull out. Pull outs for pussies. I don't do that.
Dutch oven him right in the middle of the night.
No, I'll
Oh
punch a
my
panda. That's like 6 hate crimes because he's fat, he's black, he's white, he's Asian. He's colorblind.
Colorblind hasn't made the list yet of recognized victimization.
Yeah, it's because it's not a real thing.
AJ's really working it hard though.
Not
So
a real thing.
Yeah, AJ and Panda are just milking it.
Yeah, nobody else lets you know they're colorblind.
Yeah, they just suck it up and deal with it.
Suck it up and deal with it. I do deal with it.
hey, it sounds
My
like you guys
buddy
are
that
going to
couldn't
get.
into the military.
We're
didn't
bringing
talk about it.
awareness, okay?
Yeah, you're right.
It's a real
Not-
thing.
Not all pyro designers have it as easy as most. Some
So- breast awareness.
some can't even tell you if the sky looks pretty.
I was going to say, I was going to ask that between AJ and
It's
Nate.
white.
Like, does the different effects and the colors on the
I don't know, man.
fireworks?
I'm
you
done
off?
after 2 or 3 years of this pyro musical thing. I'm so sick and tired of white fireworks. I can't do it anymore.
Just gonna go with black.
Amish
Cheaper.
fireworks?
Cheaper. What do you mean you can't see them?
That's high quality, bud.
You didn't see that right there? That went way up there.
Ice cream. When the fuck did we get ice cream?
I kind of want some ice cream.
Hey, you guys are getting with the 18R3. It sounds like you guys are going to be able to change the buttons and indicators to whatever color you like.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting.
Oh,
Pink. You can make it pink.
I mean,
AJ.
it's already on the control panel, so I mean, that's the best part already.
that's going to be my route is just control panel.
Yeah, you can just because you can read.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, Nate, didn't you get a system already?
Yeah.
So do you have a control panel already?
That I do not have now.
Well, you can still. It's the. Wait,
I don't have anything Android to hook it up to.
You're an Apple guy. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep.
And
I
you
gotta
also
get
don't
a-
have cables.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's a common trend with bow and cables.
Shut up.
You never know. You may not need anything Android coming up.
That's true. I'd be fine with that.
Never know if you wait long enough. I'm sure AJ would give you his old shit.
There you go. I'll give you my first old 8-inch tablet. You can have it. It's been sitting on the side of my bed for like, I don't know, 3 years now. Collecting
Hey, as
dust.
long as it works and it shows me
I'm
the
sure he'd take
continuity.
it because that's an
That's all I
upgrade
need.
from what he needs.
Yeah, nothing. Lights that I can't tell what they are.
Are you still crying over Octoblast?
No, I'm over that.
Is that
He's
what happened to
overrated.
Octoblast?
Wow.
It definitely compounded the problem.
That and that missing slat, right?
The slat was there.
Yeah, we knew where it was.
The non-colorblind guy missed it.
I thought I got shot by the other show.
Oh, the non-colorblind guy plugged everything into it and then taped it to a pole. Just so happened that pole was like out of the way. So when the slat was taped to the pole, it was out of sight, out of mind. And then there was a module. I think the module that we needed to plug that into was not present, right? Didn't it skip from like channel 14 to 16? On my board.
I don't remember, but those two channels for those two slats, they had like they were really similar in the amount of cues they had. It was all three things that could have gone wrong to catch it went wrong. Yeah. Oh well.
I did a lot of work on the winning board,
and it was all user.
You're a winner in my eyes.
Right. Yeah.
Second
I helped build that board.
Hey, second place is the first to lose. It's all right.
We get technically got first place too. He was on my team.
See, that's how I look at it. I was a winner.
Was he second though?
Yeah, I mean, you confirmed it was only those. I think it was only you two in the choreographed division, wasn't it?
No, there was.
Yes.
No, there was someone else.
Because
there was the one guy I almost hit.
I don't know. I don't really remember a whole lot of it because I was kind of really mad.
Yeah, he was pretty upset. I felt so bad.
I was just having
a good job on my board.
You, all things considered, I thought you handled it really well.
You didn't have to drive home with him.
I was gonna say, you didn't kill Steven.
Fucking Bo. Let it out, Nate or Steven. Let's hear it, man.
Tell us how you really feel now.
I was just playing Bone Breaker, and he's just going on and on. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, yes, dear, yes, dear, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes,
I'll talk to him. I'll talk to him. I'm sorry. I'll send a group text.
Yeah,
30 minutes on the way home. What are you talking about?
It's okay, honey. You'll do better next year.
I ain't throwing that honey in there. He has to earn that.
Wait, who was driving? You or Nate?
Nate was driving.
Somebody else can drive his truck, his fake truck.
Yeah, he's driving Jamie's truck.
So you comforted him on the way home.
He don't have a truck. It's got spark plugs.
Even if it had glow plugs, it's still not a real truck. It's a GMC.
No. Wait a minute.
No.
You know what GMC stands for, don't you?
I got a Dirty Max.
I think everyone here owns a GMC. But you.
I think he's right. It's okay. I don't know. I can't even keep my battery alive, so go ahead. Everything that's wrong with my truck, I'm a humble dude. I'll tell you right now, it's my fault.
Just gotta plug it in.
Right, you just gotta start it once a week.
Yeah,
you don't even have to do that.
Just take it to the store once a week.
That's a problem, though.
You don't even have to open the hood. just plug it in.
Yeah, just plug it in. The problem is the battery dies. And then that thing, because it's a maintainer, it won't charge it back up. It's just dead. And then I got to take the battery out and take it back to the AutoZone and say, man, I just bought this battery last year and just doesn't work.
Don't you walk by it every day?
No kidding.
You could just
it's parked in the driveway.
We'll charge it up from
It's parked in the driveway in perpetuity, though. It doesn't move during the winter.
Water in it because it all evaporated out because you didn't take care of the thing.
That's okay. I can refill that, can't I?
If it's a
not that I'm going
battery,
to. It's easier for me to take the battery out and take it to the AutoZone and get a new one.
The AutoZone.
It'd be a whole lot easier just plug it in.
Yeah, it's under warranty.
Just leave it plugged in.
Did you get that deck system for it yet?
No, I did not.
No, I'm going to get them a little solar thing and just get rid of the plug. Just get a little solar thing. That
there you go.
Constant trickle charges the damn battery.
Is that one of them new trucks with the batteries?
Yeah, this is my buddy. He converted it. It's an EV and it runs on sunlight.
Yeah,
it's good to go.
I mean, right there's I don't know why Tesla hasn't figured out. They have solar paneled roofs. How about solar paneled cars? That charges the battery
just keeps the
powered
battery
car.
alive for people
always.
that
would
have
just be
second cars.
self-sufficient. Can't have that.
They don't
Can't
move.
sell them electric without it.
Hey, what were you asking Bo about for decks? Are you talking about his coolant?
No, he's
No,
talking
that,
about the bed deck, the drawer,
Oh,
that drawer.
Yeah. You did get it already?
No, I didn't get it
No,
already.
he keeps talking about it.
Yeah, I keep talking
Been
about
talking
it,
about for
but
2.5 years.
So there's more than just talking about it. There's buying it, and then there's convincing Jamie to install it for me.
There's
No.
convincing,
We're going to
Jamie. I
send
already
Nate
told you I'd
to
do
install it.
Ooh, I want to watch that.
So Nate to install it.
Yeah.
It's like putting together furniture though. It's simple.
No,
it's like
not
four
really. You
bolts.
gotta not my bed. You gotta drill through the bed for the one that I was looking at.
You might already
sure
have
it's
a
got a
holes there
template.
for it.
A template. That's a big template. That's a big bed. You think
It's just a fold out piece of paper probably that you
Well,
lay
then he
in there.
needs the tools.
No, I
Harbor
think you
Freight
gotta.
doesn't carry them
That's
all.
the key right there. That's what he really meant. He needs
I got
Jamie's
plenty.
tools.
I got plenty of tools. Jamie's got a lift so he can get under the truck.
Why are you
to
going
put
under the truck when
bolts
it's
on
going
the
in the
bottom.
bed, homie?
Yeah.
I know. Don't you have to? You got to put something on the bottom when you drill through the bed, don't you? Like a nut or a bolt or something.
You drill a hole in that GMC, it depreciates the value. So you might as well just drill a bunch of holes in it.
Says the guy with the Cummins is falling apart, rusting out.
Okay, it didn't fall apart. It said, fuck you, kaboom.
Yeah, I mean, the motor's
Oh,
great.
okay.
And all,
Like,
but
that's
the
better.
frame-
Transfer case said, see you later, buddy boo, at 70 miles an hour. And I was like, okay, bye.
But the motor's still trucking along.
Oh, yeah. It sat in Nate's garage for 2-3 years. And then he's bitching about it. He's like, now I got all these room for fireworks and activities.
The in-laws RV is it's got the perfect combo. It has the Cummins engine with the Ellison transmission. I'm like, there it is.
Yeah. If I was looking for a boyfriend, I'd buy a GMC. You know, bow ties are for boys. Real men buy Cummins.
Bow tie, dumbass. That's a Chevy. I got a GMC.
I could do it in
Actually, I got
6
the- I got
cylinders,
the-
and it takes
I
you
got
boys
the
8.
best of both worlds.
Size
It's the
matters.
same. Yeah, right. Chevy GMC. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh, did you hear that, Nate?
They're not the same thing.
They are.
They look like AJ and I's truck. You park
They
them right
come out of
next
the
to each
same
other,
factory,
and
but they are slightly different.
I'd mistake them in the parking lot.
Not really. The headlights are
Not
different.
at
The
all.
tail lights are different. There's body panels are slightly different. Same color.
At first glance,
The
at first
completest-
glance, because like the
No,
body, if you take a
no.
25, I mean, you have
The
1500,
frame,
I have a
yes, if you're
2500, but
looking
if
at
you
the frame,
took
they look the same.
two 1500s from the same year and put them right next to each other, they look
Completely different.
so like the same truck.
We're talking about GMC versus Chevy, not Chevy versus Cobalt. I'm sorry, Colorado.
Yeah, well, those I can see the difference. I can't see the difference between a couple of 1500s
There's a difference.
from the older body styles. I haven't seen the new ones. Like I
See,
think
what's
Nate's
nice
truck
about
is
Nate's truck, it
is
look-
the newest Chevy truck that I think I've
No,
seen.
GMC. Nate's GMC, the nice thing about it is it looks like the diesel version. It's just not.
It looks like the diesel version, like those NFL jerseys that I used to buy from China.
It's got the badges. You know, it looks good.
It's got the Corvette motor.
That's all
though.
that matters. If it looks
The
good,
Corvette
you can
motor in
pass
the
it
truck.
on.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Huh? How about that?
But he won't let the horses out of the stable. He drives it like an old lady going to the grocery store in a windstorm, in a snowstorm. Gotta drive 15 under the speed limit.
Oh, dude.
But it'll
Did-
drive
Nate,
into the ditch like no other.
Yeah, he'll
remember
put it in the
when-
ditch.
I
they've
think
done that.
the first week that you had the truck, and I was riding.
Dirty.
I don't know if I was riding with you when we went to the baseball game, and you were going up the parking garage.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't think I'd ever I'd known you for I don't know a year or two, but like I'd never seen you that nervous while you're
Yeah.
He
driving
was
through
going, my
the.
name is Jeff.
Like, man, dude, I'm telling you, the roof's gonna hit the fucking parking garage, and I'm losing my
looked
Oh,
shit.
like
you were
it.
freaking him out.
Oh my god.
Well, Bo,
sat there
the reason
looking
he's
up at the
freaking out
roof.
is because if he scratches the paint, it totals the truck.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, it was close, I guess. I think
What, when
my
he put it in
dad-
the ditch or?
No. When we were driving up that parking garage, it was close. Like my 2500, I think after the first time we went to that venue,
Your cab
Dad
is a little
drove
sketchy.
every time after that because the clearance was really, really tight. I never drove my 2500 to it.
Yours
because-
probably wouldn't fit because you got that bed box.
Well, once you get in there, it's a pain in the butt. The parking garages for sure too.
Actually, the highest part on our trucks is the antenna on the top for the goddamn. What is that service you get through them?
OnStar.
that little
sorry.
nubby one.
Yeah, the little shark fin thing.
Yeah.
If that wasn't there, I could fit my truck in my garage.
Just rip it off. You don't need it.
Shave it down.
Just a hole in the top of the roof. Why not?
Yeah, duct tape it. It'll be fine.
Duct tape it.
Well, I mean, use bow tape if you want to.
Mine's a
lower it.
2009, but it looks like it's like a 2021. The body's like in mint condition. I'm not doing that.
It's because it's a GMC.
So you got a paper
That's right.
princess.
No, it's not a paper purpose.
He tries it in the mud.
Yeah.
Immediately goes to the car wash.
That's right. I just take care of my things. That's the difference.
He'll, after he's driven it through the mud, the next weekend he'll
I start it once
take
a
it
week if I
apart,
have to.
sand down the frame,
I'm like,
replace the bolts with stainless steel.
I don't go that far.
Yeah, I know. You were like, I just get these
spray
zinc
paint
ones.
duct tape, boys. Does world wonders.
That's
why you drive a Ram.
Yeah, rust.
Hey, at least I
Go
dodged the
Rusty.
ditches, unlike you.
I'm just going to start calling you Rusty.
Rusty.
I've lost track of what your actual name is.
George.
Sephiroth,
It's Rusty.
Rusty, Lightning.
That's pretty funny in Octoblast, though. I didn't expect that to stick. There's a lot of stuff that like, you know, little jokes that come out of Octoblast, but I didn't expect the whole let's call Steven a different
Anything
name
but his name.
every single time that we see him, something different. I expected that to get old really quick, and it did not.
Freaking Carol, Logan,
I-
Doug
every-
were like,
every-
does
yeah.
Jamie not know your name? And I was like, no, he knows my name. This is a inside thing. And then the
Yeah, well, did
BBG
you tell
guys.
him that 2 weeks from now he is definitely not going to know your name because he's going to be so confused that he's just going to be okay with it, though.
Well, they were like,
You're
a couple of
enabling him
BBG guys
to-
were like, dude, we don't know your name. Jamie's calling you everything under the sun. And I'm like, you got to check in with Boss Man. Whatever he says it is for the 15 minutes, that's what it is.
It rotates every 15 minutes.
Which I'm sure was confusing everybody else because I mean you're not a brand new OPAG member, but as far as BPG is concerned, you know, there's a lot of those events where you go to and people don't know anybody's names, so they're relying on just like overhearing somebody use somebody's name, so
Right.
they don't have to awkwardly ask because you know we don't live in a world anymore where it's cool to introduce ourselves to anybody. We just have to we got to let somebody else say somebody's name out loud so then we can start talking to them like we know them already.
I know that's
Yeah.
even more awkward.
It is.
People come to me, it's like, Jamie, I'm like,
I don't know you. We've never
Yes.
officially met. My name's Bo and I'm Bo. And this
That's
is
AJ.
Jamie and now we know each other. So now you can call me my name.
Yeah, I don't. If I don't know
do
your
that
name,
shit anymore.
I'll ask you 100 times. I don't care. Like, listen, it's
Well,
not
that's
important
what
enough to
I'm saying. This is
remember it.
why,
What's your name again?
everybody, yeah. Well, this is probably why we didn't get an invite to dinner that night because everybody's like, well, this sucks. We don't even know what to call that guy. So how can we invite him to dinner?
Well, see, that's even better because then I can sit down and, you know, Bill can be an ass and then Jeff can be everybody's friend. Like, which personality you want today?
Yeah. Jamie, you could have told him he's like the one guy in that M. Night Shyamalan movie that had 15 different personalities and that you were just addressing him by each one of those personalities. You should have told everybody that you had a crew of 58 people.
right?
For his $20,000 board.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
How much did he put? I think it's like 30,000. We just had a guy come in for a late delivery and added like another 10 G's. I think he works for the cartel or something. I don't know.
Go ask Kyle.
Kyle knows all.
God, you guys made me so nervous on night 1 when you were putting up the wheel.
Nobody's
In the
dying.
dark,
Oh my
by
God.
the moonlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like to passersby, there were several of them that would drive down the road and then they would just start slowing down, going real slow.
Because they were waiting for somebody to get hurt.
No, because it wasn't until
in the
I
middle
didn't.
of a field at 2:30 in the morning and
Erecting what looks like
30
you're
feet in the air.
Yeah, no, it looked
We're
like
stealing something from the empty field.
Stealing a copper off the power lines.
It looked like you were doing some kind of ritual. When I went back to the camper and I looked out in the field, I'm like, oh my God, this looks like something out of Resident Evil.
Well, the neighbors in the house across from where we were staying at, that had the tractor.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't know what y'all were doing out there, but you guys look like you were dancing. And I was like, no. And he was like, you guys are out there pretty late. And I'm like, well, how late were you watching? And he's like, oh, I wasn't watching like that. And I was like, well, you just made it sound like you're like in your window with binoculars. We are all of legal age.
We're all consenting adults here.
I just came here to blow shit up.
Yeah, you should have come over, buddy. We would have never. And then
Yeah, we could've
nobody
used
ever
that
heard
tractor
from
with
him
the
again. That
forks.
was the last time that he was seen alive.
Yeah, that was a little sketch. It went up straight, but the next morning realized it was slightly tilted the wrong way.
Because Nate
Did
was
you
trying to
have to-
sabotage it.
Did you have to fix it?
No, we just shot it as it was.
Yeah, and it was fine. Because can't you just
It was
hang
all relative to where you actually watched it from, but
Yeah. That's what you need to do is just make like some kind of like little level or pivot joint that you hang the wheel on. So that way you can just pivot the wheel a little bit and then lock it. And then it's straight.
No, that's too safe.
Sorry, I just realized I did an AJ there.
AJ, did you ask Jamie what happened to him with the water can incident?
Jamie, what did you do with the water cans?
I received. I was a receiver, not a giver.
Whoa. I got an enema. Did you get an enema?
Full frontal, right square in the forehead. Like
facial. He got a facial.
Full blast, full 100 PSI.
140.
Quarter, 1 inch stream of water right into the center of my forehead.
Well, better
like
than your
splattered
eye.
into my eyes. Contacts are all blurry. I'm like, oh, okay. That just happened.
How did you
I forgot to turn
the
friendly
eye?
fire off.
Oh.
Well, he ran out there because the wheel was on fire. I ran out there because everything around it was on fire. He ran around the other side and decided to spray something right in front of me. And I happened just to turn around and look and stream forehead.
Safety hoodie that says shit show supervisor running with a water can. And I hit Jamie smack dab right between the eyes. And I was like, he's either going to laugh or we're going to fight.
Or this is it. This is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. If he didn't seem stressed 3 hours before that moment, that was it.
It'd been better if he was
I was
smoking
too
a
stressed.
cigarette and I knocked the cherry out of it, but no.
If I was smoking a cigarette, I would definitely have been enjoying it. I probably would have been upset. It's been a while since I had one of those things.
Yeah, I got asked about that from OPAG. They're like, I heard you shot one of your fellow firework enthusiasts. And I was like, he was in the line of fire. It's not my fault.
He was in the way.
I was aiming for the fire.
I'm the unsafe guy. Sorry.
Yeah, my fire training kicked in. I saw the flames and I had to put the water on the hot stuff. He was in
Just
between
making
it.
sure he was fire retardant.
Yeah, and it should all make
Although you were
sense
calling
when
Jamie hot
they
there for a
realized that you were trying to put a fire out on Jamie's board because God knows where in the grand scheme of things the fire could be at that point. Just
Yeah, spray and pray.
okay, we get it.
You
Yeah,
could just watch
we have
the
no
thing
idea.
start to just
The
get
fire's
bigger and
30
bigger
feet up
during
in the
grand
air.
finale. You're like, oh, that's my board. Yep, it's getting bigger. It's spreading.
I'm running out there and Jamie's just casually walking, sucking wind.
Well, you guys made it out there in record time, though.
I don't play around, man.
Mhm.
I had to get my oohs and ahs in before Jamie came up. Ooh, oh shit, that's expensive.
You didn't need that, did you?
He was out there just seeing if your product didn't go so he could put it, that one's mine. That one's mine. That one's mine.
Hey, all the shit that I touched and put on your board went off.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I jumped ship. I knew when you pulled out
2
that
cases of stuff, you need a go test out at your property because it's in my way right now.
Jamie, did you get a full reconciliation on gear after that? Did you lose anything? Did anybody lose anything?
I need to find out where all my antennas are because these little bags that had numbers on them, it said these antennas go in there. The antennas are in the bottom of the totes. And I just went to let Nate borrow my modules. I'm like, where the hell are my antennas? So I got to see where my antennas are.
Huh.
Yeah, but what about your speakers?
I still got to test all that stuff too. When
I
I
to people's houses.
Like the stuff on the boards, though. I mean, did you lose any other cables, slats?
I didn't lose any equipment.
Racks?
Other than I may need to replace my expensive cables up to the tower.
Yeah,
but I didn't lose any racks, any modules.
That's good.
No slats.
What happened to
no slats?
The modules because we had allocated modules for certain spots, and then I remember having to go back to the truck and grab unallocated modules and then sync them because like when we were past go time,
the only reason we did that is because we had bank 36 on the front right of the board and bank 36 on the back left of the board, and it just made more sense to grab another module and make it bank 36 and call it a day. Just to get the stuff done because apparently we were taking too long to get ready.
Yeah, dude, it was all hands on deck there at the end. You had so many people clamoring around and, oh God, what was the spirit gal's name? I liked her. What was her name? Tina, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Tina was crammed inside.
She was inside
underneath.
She was under the board. She
climbed
just weaseled her way into the in between all your single shot racks and stuff. And I would walk up to a module and you could barely even see inside of the thing. And I would just say, all right, channel 20. And then all of a sudden you'd see a hand stick out with a cable. Okay, plug it in. And then all of a sudden you'd hear her go channel 58. Then the hand would come out. Then you hand a cable, and then in it goes.
Did you see the truss she had in the stability of the tower I erected?
Oh yeah, dude, she climbed that thing like a spider monkey at the end.
I was like, okay, I guess I constructed it well. It didn't move.
That damn thing wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was maybe overkill, but I like safety.
Just the fuel mine knocking those freaking timbers 8 inches in the ground.
Yeah, you would have ruined a truck if you hit that thing with the intention of trying to capsize it. The truck would have been totaled and everything else would have been fine.
So speaking of fuel mines, you guys have seen where the deals Brian has going on for COBRA on his fuel mines?
Yeah, I saw a post
right now. I don't want to hear
it. So, what do you think about those 4-gallon and 6-gallon ones? What are your thoughts on those?
What are the 4-gallon and 6-gallon ones? I apparently haven't been looking.
Isn't there a
Jamie's like, I don't do 4 or 5. I do 30.
Well, and then
I want the tall 5 gallons. They're 6 inches, but they're taller. I really want those.
The 6-gallon ones.
Are they
Jamie,
6?
which ones did you test when we went to your father-in-law's?
They have a tall one and a normal size one.
So the 6-inch normal size holds 2 gallons.
Yep.
And the 6-inch tall one, I guess, holds 6 gallons. I want those bad. Really bad. The tall ones, the 12-inch, I despise. But the tall ones, they look awesome. I want those pretty bad. So yes, all day long.
But couldn't you just make them? All you need is steel pipe and just a base plate and weld it, correct?
You can absolutely make them if you know how to properly weld and set up the proper base plate. Yes.
Listen, my welds will hold, but I can guarantee for at least one discharge.
That's why I want
It's
to
all
buy
about
it.
safety.
Yeah,
It's all about
you said
safety.
I'll guarantee you one discharge.
It's all about safety, but also you don't want to have excess weight for no reason.
I mean,
too,
I'm not
'cause, dear
standing
God.
over it, looking down the barrel, going, "What's this do?" I mean, I'm gonna be
Yeah,
back
but you
a
got to
few
set
feet.
you got to set the charge in there. You know, never know what's going to happen.
Well, again, you don't look down the barrel when you're loading a cam in. You just kind of step off to the side and go, "Dear baby Jesus,
Well, how do you know
please
where the
don't do
charge
it."
bullets go if you're not looking where you're putting it?
That's called spray and pray, buddy. Close your eyes and pray. Dear baby Jesus, please put this charge where it needs to go.
Well, I
God,
had
I've been doing
the
it wrong this whole time.
God, who was it? Tim and I think it was Tim and Rob, OPAG Tim and Rob, at their show the first year that they did fuel mines. They had some big boys that they had either a buddy welded or one of them welded a base plate on. But those
People make them all the time.
Yeah, well,
But they buried theirs too.
no, but they weren't buried until after the show was over. Because they shot them and the ground was soft, but the way the plates were on, they had there was those side supports that Brian has on some of his for the bigger guns, or that Gary puts on those.
They were sticking on the ground and the motor was in the ground.
Oh, dude. I mean, this thing looked like it just looked like a bullet terraformed as it was going into the ground.
That's
I mean, it just
funny.
bent that bottom plate completely.
The railroad ties are wonders for that 33 gallon, but that thing's built like a tank. That thing's nice.
Yeah. But it displaces. That's what it's meant to do, right? The railroad ties just kind of displace the energy.
I mean, I
when it
had
comes
6 railroad ties on that one, and 8 times 3, 2 feet in the air. Like Seth said, it went 8 inches on the ground.
Because that one corner, back on the inside, that one took the biggest hit because it was like 8 freaking inches in there, but it knocked the rest of them down a good 3 to 4 inches.
Jamie, what was what size fuel mines did you test when we went to your father-in-law's that one time and the horse lord came over and he was all upset?
6 inch.
Those are
2
6
gallons.
inch. Which ones does Brian have those on sale for CobraCon?
Yeah.
He
The
does?
most popular one that, I mean, they are just a really good for the price, the amount of fuel that you're going to make, the amount of black powder you use to discharge them is the 6 inch, 2 gallon, 2.5 gallon ones. I mean, they just make such a beautiful fireball for the backyard. And then you can set up 6, 7, 8 of those in one spot. They're not too heavy.
Yeah.
And you can put 6 of them, 6 times, 2 is 12 gallons. Now you have a 12 gallon fireball. I mean, I did that when I did the one show. I put multiple of them in the middle of that bigger fireball.
Yeah.
And it was significantly larger than the other 4, 6 inches around it. So they're just, for the typical person, they're just the most popular one. But I'm really digging the 6 inch one. That's, what is that, 3 or 4 feet tall?
I think it's like
Holds
48
5 or
inches.
6 gallons.
Yeah.
Because you
Well,
get
he's got 2 of them, right? He's got one it's a 6 inch that's like a standard size, whatever that old size was, and then the newer
I think
one
it's
that's
24 inches. And then he's got a 6 inch that I
40
think
inch.
is 36 or 42 or something like that.
yeah.
That holds 5 or 6 gallons. Maybe it's 48 inches, but that
It's
one I've seen
40
a few
inches.
times. 40 inches.
40 inches,
but
Holds
it's,
4 gallons.
It's a good size plume. I mean, it's nice. And it's much more manageable than the 12 inch in diameter, 18 inches tall or whatever it is that holds 5, 6 gallons. It's just much more manageable.
Huh.
And I'm getting fat and lazy. I don't like lugging those big, heavy things around anymore.
Yeah.
The 33 gallon, I got a special dolly for it, so I don't care. But the
Where was it
monotony
when
of
we went to
carrying
put it
around all
up?
those extras. It was there. You just decided you wanted to bear hug it.
He's got a bad shoulder too.
I got it
Well,
fixed.
yeah, I mean, getting
He
that.
wanted to show you. You got your shoulder fixed?
Yeah, I got it fixed the 27th. I start therapy tomorrow.
Oh, good.
getting Alex to not work when his shoulder was hurting was really, really difficult. I'm like, dude, why don't you take a break? You know, Nate can help too. I'll just watch what he's doing. Make sure he plugs it in right. Don't worry, we got this. But no, he's out there, dude, I'm in so much pain, but we got to get this done.
It's like, yeah, got it done.
I'm
Though, did
freaking
we?
laying on drugs every 30 minutes just to keep him out of as much pain as possible.
Over the counter for the ATF, DEA listening. Over the counter.
I swear. I said
Most of them were sugar
Coca-Cola.
pills, but
I mean, what for folks that are looking at those fuel mines, Jamie, actually, I guess this question is for anyone on here that knows, but what's the visible difference with the height and the performance of the mine itself? Like if you got a 6-inch that was the standard size versus the 6-inch that was the 40-inch, what visible differences are you going to see in the way that the fireball takes shape?
there's multiple differences you're going to see. So if you do a single, it's more volume. So if you're just doing 2 gallons of gasoline, it's not going to be as hot. So you're not going to feel it as much. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a nice size plume for most people. But the further you are away from it, it might start being, a lot smaller. So if you take a 4-inch, the little 4 inches he has, which I actually really like those because they're very quick. You take like a 1/4 gallon of gasoline. Yeah. Those things are awesome, but they are a little bit more ridiculous to make. But I really like them. Those are cool for like quick bursts. The 6-inch, there's a lot of fuel that's burning and, pluming up and going up. So it lasts a little longer. Yeah. And then as you go up to a 5 gallon, that mushroom cloud's going to get a little bit bigger. It's going to rise a little bit more. It's going to be hotter because there's more fuel being burned, and it goes up into the sky a little bit higher. Then when you get into, say, the 30 gallon, same thing. But if you take 5 6-inch, you essentially have a, 10 to 15 gallon fireball with, you build it as you go versus carrying around that one big monster, one shot. Yeah. So it's the temperature that you'll feel. So feeling it's like, wow, this is awesome. The volume, the size of that cloud is going to get a little bit bigger, the head, and it is going to last. The duration is going to roll into itself. So you get that rolling plume that goes up higher and a little bit longer duration for the black smoke.
Yeah. So it's just like firearms. The longer the barrel, the more height and distance you get. Shorter barrel is going to be closer to the ground.
Yeah, or Nate's meat. The longer and the girthier it is, the more pleasure you get out of it.
What?
There's more seasoning.
Yeah, there's more seasoning to eat. Either one of Nate's meats. Nate, I got some really special stuff from the other Nate recently. I can't wait to make it. I've been saving it. I've got a moment in mind that I'm going to try it, but it requires me to cook it. So it's an extra level of work that, I'm pretty fat and lazy now. I'm going to cherish the moment when I put it in my mouth. It's, what is it? It's,
he said, what is it? This isn't why AJ doesn't tell us stuff though.
I can't remember what called it, but you actually cook it.
Yeah.
It's a lot like, just like I would call it like, those sausages.
Is it just meat? Is it like ground
Polish sausages? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, the way he described it, but you actually cook it. So instead of it, just being summer sausage, it's actually cooked. I can't wait to try this shit out. Huh. I'm like, ooh, he told me about it. I'm like, oh, I'm like a kid at the candy store.
Did he give you any tips on how to cook it?
Hmm?
Did he tell you how
but I'm
best to cook it?
I call him because I don't remember the temperature and the time frame.
Oh.
Google it.
I go to the professionals when I don't want to screw up perfection. I call Bo for fireworks. I call AJ for towers. I call the Nates for the meat. And I call Steven for everything else.
Damn right.
Yeah, we all got a guy.
Alibi.
When my truck doesn't work, I got a guy.
I may not know what to do, but I'll figure it out.
And then when Jamie doesn't
just
pick up,
swing
I
it.
dread calling AJ because then I just get made fun of. I got to listen to the 10 minutes of ridiculing before
Just check
before
the harmonic balancer.
I know how to fix it.
You're probably low on washer fluid.
Blinker fluid.
Yeah.
We had him going on the harmonic balancer. It was pretty good.
Jamie, those tall
Don't tell me how much they are. I don't want to hear it.
$200.
Don't want to hear it. I hate you.
Aren't they 200 on the website anyway? Hold on. I
Nobody
was just
likes
there
you.
2 days ago
So you're
looking at
second
racks. Does he
No,
change
there
his
are two-
prices
there-
with
So the way you do the pre-ordering, you order it online. You,
Mailman's here.
Not mine. That one's not mine.
That's mine.
What?
6-inch fuel mine, 40 inches tall. Oh,
You do it online, and then he'll
250.
send you an invoice and with the discount.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Ooh, and that's for
250
pre-orders for
bucks.
CobraCon.
Yep,
How many more days to CobraCon?
it'll be here before you know it.
57?
Yeah, it's 57 is what Jonathan said.
You got your
Dude, I can't
PowerPoints
Is
already.
that-
God, I can't believe that many people have signed up for the class.
Right? We got so
Yeah.
many people fooled.
I'm upset. I can't make one of the ones you guys are doing.
Really?
Well, unfortunately, you are fired.
Thank God.
You are disowned.
It
You are no longer
overlaps.
invited to anything. Matter of fact, if I see you at
Okay.
CobraCon, I'm just going to trash you.
Shocker.
Second place. Second place.
Shocker.
We got to make t-shirts.
Oh my God.
Nate's demise.
Nate's demise. We're the
You know,
A
there's
mice.
picture of him
song
holding
that's
a
been
little
around.
firework, standing in front of the sign, pouting.
How long has that song been around, Nate?
I don't know. I never heard.
I didn't
it
know it
before.
was a song when I created the name. It was actually pretty funny. I sent it to you.
I know. I listened to it.
It was trash. And I was like, this is perfect. I should have done this song.
Yeah. I mean, you guys realize, so when I was watching the Super Bowl yesterday and, this whole Kendrick Lamar Drake beef, I thought the first thing I thought to myself was, this is like Nate and Jamie this is like the epitome of what this is in fireworks.
So
We
Nate's
should have
Drake.
been on the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And Nate did. It's
Nate's
Drake.
Drake.
Nate's Drake and he's suing him. He's getting his. That's why Nate's been quiet this whole podcast. He's writing notes and for his attorney.
This is recorded. This is recorded. Oh God.
Oh, man. So which class can't you make, Nate?
It's the one where you guys are doing the angles and all that.
What's
why
more
all your
important
shots
than
are
the
straight
angles
up.
class?
Nothing, because Nate can't do angles.
The actual using the
He's
COBRA
angle
equipment
blind.
class.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
For me especially, I feel
Well,
like
yeah.
that's probably fairly
Well,
important.
Yeah, that's
Fairly
a
important. I'll
clearly-
tell you what.
that's a good one.
We'll send you the slideshow.
And there we go.
Send you the slideshow.
In red and yellow and green.
And purple. And purple.
We were going to give you a personal presentation, but AJ's red, yellow, and green slideshow is our preference. Sorry.
All right. Well, speaking of Cobra Firing Systems, Cobra Firing Systems supports this podcast because they love what the Rhythm Pyro community brings to the industry. The knowledge community, the creativity, and the unforgettable experiences. We all keep this thing alive together. Thank you, Scott and the team over at Cobra, for sponsoring this podcast and the first shit show roundtable that you guys have sponsored. God help you.
Yeah.
I would like a t-shirt. I would like a t-shirt. My size is large.
Are you really a large? God, fatty.
Who's a large?
Little freaking Kyle over there.
speaking of shirts, Jamie, I got your jersey.
My 2X.
Yeah.
2X.
Oh, I didn't know you were ordering
Nice.
new ones. I would have got another one too.
No.
So I'm not wearing
Well,
the same
I-
one.
you gotta
Stinky
remember,
for
I-
3
gained
days.
so much
No.
weight.
I ordered, you know what we should probably do? We should probably get another one for CobraCon. Just so we
Yes,
got
we're not
something
wearing
different.
the same one for 3 days.
Okay.
4
What
days.
does that even mean?
I felt so bad at Sky Wars because for 2 days straight, Jamie was just a head case because he's like, I don't want to put this on. don't feel good in wearing this. I don't want to put this on and then be in front of people.
Fat guy in a little
He looked fine. What are you
shirt.
talking
He did.
about?
He looked fine. I mean, it was a little
it's
tight
because I
around
didn't
his
eat for
arms,
2 days
but
straight.
Oh, it was all 2 days. A 2-day diet.
the 2-day
If I
diet.
could lose that much weight in 2 days by not eating, I'd
Intermittent
stop for
fasting,
3.
baby.
You were eating shit off my plate every time you walked by me.
Hey, you know
Ah,
what?
the
Why are you
truth comes
talking?
out.
I hadn't eaten for 2
Hey,
months.
if you're snacking, it ain't a meal.
I hadn't ate. Let's see. That was September. I hadn't ate since July.
That's all right. We were probably burning like 5,000 calories a day anyways and ingesting 2.
Oh, it's
so.
summertime. I'm working 3 giant jobs at that time of the year. So I burned through the calories. Now I got about, 65 pounds to lose before, so I can fit this new Sherpa bot.
You're
Wait,
not
before
65
you
pounds
can
heavier
fit
than
into the
Scott.
jersey,
You
was one
haven't
size bigger than the
seen
old
me,
one?
dude.
No way. There's no way you gained that
Oh,
much
yeah.
weight.
65
Look,
pounds.
I'm
That's a
getting
lot.
close
You're
to
so
Fat
full of shit
Albert
because
category.
you don't.
Go weigh
when you
yourself
said
right
you were
now.
fat the last time, I didn't believe you.
I'm 2 something.
I'm 2
You were
something.
2 something before.
There's 99 more to go there, bud. Are you like
Bo,
299
you
kind of
just
guy?
told me when last time I saw you, you're like, pants
you?
looked a little tight, bud.
No, that was that Harley Davidson shirt you
that doesn't
bought.
sound like something I'd say.
That's what you said
It
when we were
doesn't.
bowling. And now they barely even fit.
I think this
I'm
is
like,
in your
yeah,
head.
I'm fat, thanks to Bo.
Well, when you buy a Harley Davidson shirt and get a free motorcycle, they sell you a shirt size too small.
What does that even
Gay,
mean?
gay, gay,
No,
gay, gay,
no,
gay,
they
gay,
just
gay,
give,
gay,
they
gay.
give you a free one. You buy a Harley and then you get a free shirt, I hope.
Well, you know what? I'll live a lot longer on my Harley than I will my R1.
No, yeah, because your Harley breaks down all the time.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's like your Cummins.
It's always in the shop.
No, mine exploded. It didn't break down. It exploded. There's a difference.
Mine's only down because I got it taken apart.
Yeah.
Did you get
that's
it
what
back
happens.
yet?
I've had it back. I just have parts that I want to put on it.
Oh, so it's
I
not
just sit.
but you
All
have
the
it in
things
a state of
I
can't ride
ordered
it.
to make it more comfortable, like the handlebars, and then
Yeah.
they came out with these awesome lighted hand grips. I'm like, yes, please. Just waiting to put them on.
You got to put your tassels on there too.
Tassels. I got the little things that go on the spokes. So when you're
No,
riding, they
your
go click,
tassels
click,
go on the
click, click,
handlebars,
click,
so everybody knows you're riding dirty.
Oh, God. The open chaps.
Yeah, the assless chaps.
What are you talking about? I don't wear chaps.
Sandals.
You know how expensive chaps are?
That's why they cut the ass out. They're half price.
They're so expensive now.
I would never wear them.
Hot
I
wings
mean,
and VW3s.
I wore a
No,
racing
trust me,
suit before, but
When
never.
it's 35 degrees outside and you're on the bike, you'll wear chaps.
Nah.
It's
Just
cold.
You got to
a
wear your
one-piece
thong
racing
flip flops and cargo shorts and your cutoff sleeve.
It's cold.
Actually,
I'll tell you that ride
speaking
from
of-
Tennessee when I was 40, the ride home was so cold, especially with the freaking hour and a half detour.
Speaking of
I
bikes,
can't-
I saw a guy on a freeway this morning on a crotch rocket. I was
On a
shocked.
crotch rocket.
Oh my God, dude. It's
I was
cold.
doing 80 down 88, and I heard this. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
It is
Holy
probably
cow,
warm.
on a
Those things
bike?
run so hot.
Oh my
Those things
God.
run so hot. He was probably warm.
No, there is no wind protection on those things, man. I don't care how low you're laying on the tank.
Mine was hot. My R1, it was fuel injected and it was warm.
Now
That's 'cause
when
the bike
it's
actually
22
ran,
degrees
Jamie.
outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds painful.
That's
In this weather.
when it's raining on those things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sucks.
Anything with rain on a
Just
motorcycle
the slightest
sucks.
rain. It's like needles.
Yep. It's like a shitty acupuncture that you got off Craigslist or Temu.
Groupon,
not what you
Groupon
ordered.
acupuncture session.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
trying to race. I was racing a storm that was coming in. I was trying to stay off to the side of it. And I knew I had to go down this road. And I saw a bunch of bikers and went by and they're like waving me. And I know they're like, I'm like, what are they waving? Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, they mean turn around. By the time I stopped and went to turn around, torrential downpour.
Ooh.
And I had riding boots on. and my whole boot just completely filled up. So when I stopped, finally took them off, and it was just like pouring water out of my boots.
Oh,
one piece leather black suit. So my skin was dyed black. It was bad. It took forever for that shit to come off.
jeez, man.
Sorry, the visualization of your one-piece black leather suit. I can't right now. I can't. I'm seeing a ball gag.
I was going there too.
Weird.
little BDM going on.
Oh, let me rephrase that. Alpine
wear a
Star
BDM suit when you're biking.
one-piece leather suit.
Or what is it?
He gets pulled
Dodgeball.
over and he hands the officer a driver's license with Keanu Reeves' picture on it. I'm Neo.
Or McLovin.
I'm AJ, but my friends call me Neo. I'm the one.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
The suit's actually really funny when you wear them because they put you in this weird position. You can't really put your arms down. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
Christmas,
Yeah, they're like
Christmas
constantly
You're
bent all the
constantly
time.
just betting like, T-Rex. I got a big head, little ones.
So it looks like you're walking around like you're trying to puff your chest out, like, sup.
Yeah, Harley. Well, see, Harley guys do that without having that.
I like number one, no pickles, please.
I pick things up and I put them down.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Jim Carrey when he pulls up next to, oh God, what was it? Who was the other guy who played in Dumb and Dumber?
I don't know his name.
God.
Terrible with names.
Oh God. Is it Jeff
Daniels?
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff
Yeah, he
Daniels.
pulls up next to Jeff Daniels and he rings a little bell and then
His little moped.
he throws his arms out. I'm picturing AJ doing that, just not being able to put his arms down. Where are you going, son? Hands off the handlebars. I'm sorry, I can't put them down.
Could you imagine? You ever watch
I could try to reach for my driver's license, but it hurts.
Do you know who I am?
No, every time I
got
pulled
one of
over
those
though, I got the same thing. Thanks for not running. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's got to happen a lot in Northern Illinois.
Yeah,
Actually,
right?
I only got pulled over within like a 10-mile radius.
Well, I was
of my
talking
house.
about people running. I guess that makes sense. If they were telling you all the time, or when you did get pulled over, thanks for not running.
I would think in Texas it's worse because every time Jason's watching YouTube videos of motorcycle chases, it's always like Texas,
Really?
Texas.
What
Yeah,
is
when I was
that
working
show
as a
that had duct
deputy,
tape?
they do that shit all the time. They take off and you just wait till they crash in the ditch and pull up and be like, you good? Dumbass.
Good. Now
You
lay
good?
over.
Did you learn your lesson? Move so I can tell that you're still with us. If I got to call Nate,
If I could
Put your hands on your bike.
Nah, it's different county. It's different county.
All I can still.
Well, he
you ever seen
crashed
that-
here in Cook, but he slid into LaSalle, so he's all yours now.
one piece suit and all. What is that show that had duct tape man or boy or whatever his name on? America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
all I can
tape
see
face?
is tape face. Here we go. All I can see is AJ Suitman showing up with his ball gag and his one piece leather suit on the show.
What the fuck?
Bend my arms.
It's better than the tassel and the assless chaps. So
I'm one click man.
Where AJ goes back to the dealership, he like dodgeball underdog story. It's like, I think we got the wrong package. This is the wrong uniform.
this is not my regulation uniform. This says,
Yeah, you're not
this
daddy.
says daddy. Yeah.
Pyro daddy.
Pyro daddy. Oh, AJ, I got a license plate for you. Andre LeBlanc sent it to me like 2 years ago, and I found it out in the garage. It was in this thing. He sends me the thing. He's like, hey, do you think AJ would like a license plate? He's like, a couple of years ago, I had a Pyro Dad license plate, and I was like, yeah, he'd love that. And he sent it to me, and I must have taken the mail one day out into the garage. So it was sitting in the garage under my circular saw with 2 shreds of junk mail. So I must have taken it out to cut some wood or something, put it under there, and I completely forgot about it. So you got
the same. He's the same guy that was on the old PU. Because I remember when I signed up for it, the guy was like, "Hey, I got something for you," and he sent me a picture of his license plate.
It's probably it.
I vaguely remember you talking about that a long time ago. It's probably when you got it.
I know, and because I was excited, I was
great.
like, "Oh, AJ's gonna love this."
It's probably underneath my DMX lights that I forgot you had.
Yeah, those are actually in my way. So I'm more annoyed that I still have those out in the garage than I am. I was pleasantly surprised when I found the license plate, but then I felt like shit immediately. I'm like, oh God, I'm supposed to give this to him years ago.
He's probably thinking, man, AJ's an asshole. He didn't even say thanks.
He never said that. Motherfucker never said thank you.
That motherfucker.
It's kind of how I feel when I call Bo for a flat tire.
Dude, Amber won't let me put. So I wanted to put something on the trailer, fireworks wise, or pyro or something. Amber's like, no, you can't do that. That's just like advertising. I'm like, advertising what? That's just a trailer. It's not like there's anything in it. She goes, so I said, okay, well, I'm going to put the rhythm thing on the back, the rhythm pyro boy. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, it says pyro in it. It's the same fucking thing. She's like, yeah, but it says podcast. I'm like, it still says pyro. What's the difference?
Well, you could take that. Just tell her you're going to put the Pyro Boy logo up, and then just omit the podcast part.
Yeah, there you go.
Oops. You could put Pyro Dad. I don't think anybody would bat an eye.
Yeah,
on the side of the little trailer, I've got I got my Bose 8823 vinyl on there, and then it says Next Generation Pyrotechnics, original music, and then something about an experience. And then I don't think nobody's batted an eye at it.
Let's see. She'll listen to this and she'll be like, you told them that. I can hear it now.
she won't get this far.
She listens to every one of them, dude.
She does?
Oh yeah. She'll call me sometimes and she'll like get to a part and then she'll just text it to me or call me and just say that. And I'm like, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
All right, so hear me out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bumper sticker. We're going to put it on AJ's car. We're going to put his phone number on it. It says for any fireworks questions or firework law questions, contact this number.
That will get AJ's number. That will get Nate pulled over or whoever's car we stick that on.
Actually, we'll put it on Nate's truck because he's got a corner sticker, so he can get away with it.
I'm going to look to see if I can do something with like ATF agent in Illinois and see if it pops up as like a usable. That would be funny. I could just see us pulling up to like fireworks shows and everyone's going nuts, running around. Oh shit, they're here.
Or put it on your shirt, ATF agent, and then on very small print, not.
You can't impersonate. That's a federal thing.
If you interpret
really
it
bad thing to do.
I mean, it's not my fault you can't read the fine print that says not a ATF agent.
Remember those shirts that everything's in like really small print. It says 2 different things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, from 4 feet away, it looks like it's exactly what it's not.
It's not my fault Nate printed it at Gravy Farms.
With a Temu sticker.
And he messed the font up.
Oh, there she is. The Natester.
That's funny.
They hating on Gravy Farms.
I love Gravy Farms. I would like to buy some Gravy Farms eggs. I want to know what those taste like.
$3 a dozen.
$3 a dozen?
Yep.
Okay.
God, I remember when they were.
And those are all different colors, right? Like Easter eggs?
No.
Yes. For you, yes.
Okay. Is there a kind of egg that is...
them?
No.
You want speckled, brown, and white all in the same category?
They all lay brown eggs.
What do those taste different than the white ones that I buy at the Kroger?
Yes.
100%
How much
different.
So?
Why?
Well, farm eggs taste different than what you get by at the store anyways.
They taste better or worse?
Better.
They're richer. They just taste more like chicken. All around.
That's cool. Yeah, I want to buy some. Do you have any more
waiting on my free
meat
t-shirt
sticks too?
The yolks are so much bigger too. and colorful.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Nate can tell.
Is the protein content the same?
No.
Nate's
got a little chart that he puts on there, and he'll send you the nutritional value of each egg.
He's gonna print the nutritional value on a Temu sticker and put it on each egg.
On each egg.
And
Gravy's
then put
Farms
it
approved
in the thing. I'd take it as gospel, so be careful what you put on there.
Out here doing the Lord's work.
When that goes into my, can I look you up on MyFitnessPal?
The question is, do you mail the Gravy's eggs?
Oh no, I'll pick them up. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
Well, I need some Gravy's eggs.
You throw them in the mail.
That's how my chicks came.
Really?
Yeah. What are we talking about?
Wait, you can ship animals in the mail?
Yeah, so if you, I bought them from a hatchery out west, and they get shipped through the mail.
You're shitting me.
Nope.
How does that work? They put holes in the box?
Yeah. They're in just like a little cardboard crate with something in the bottom of it. And that's the only way you can ship them in the United States is through the post office.
Is there a special mailman that delivers them, or does
you have to go to the post office and pick them up?
Oh, okay. So the mail carrier doesn't load them into the truck under
their own.
All of the JCPenney catalogs in the morning.
Right.
Got it.
No, that's how you spread bird flu. You can't do that.
Is that how is deer AIDS contracted?
Nate, you're a third responder paramedic. You can answer that. Your rubber gloves.
I don't know what you're talking
zombie deer AIDS.
We were gutting a deer in the woods.
What's this we? I was.
He said, "What is this?
Whatever."
We?
I started and you took the fucking knife from me.
Because you were fucking it up.
Knife?
It was blunt.
The butter knife?
It wasn't a butter knife.
Yeah, my shit's sharp.
So different knife. Got it. Okay.
You gonna let me tell the story or not?
Continue on.
Shut the fuck
up. So after I cut it, he told me to just pull the guts out. I'm like, I want to get my gloves first. He's like, for what? Apparently
EMT gloves. EMT gloves, so we're clear.
But it wasn't. You guys had another guy with you too, right?
Reader.
Yeah. No, it was Corey.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was Corey. And apparently I looked at him with this straight face because he asked me, why do you need gloves? And I told him, because I don't want to get deer AIDS.
And then I realized he's fucking stupid. And I didn't know how to respond to that. And I'm like, what? And then Corey, who's a firefighter EMT and was Nate's partner at MedCare when he worked there.
He's in total agreement with Nate. He's like, I don't want to touch that either.
No, he looked at me and he goes, did he just say he didn't want to get deer AIDS? And I said, yeah. And I said, how do deer get AIDS? And your response was, Nate?
I don't know. Did I say something to that? I don't know.
Yeah, you said they were out fucking random doe hoes out in the woods.
Well, see, makes
they got
sense.
Kids all over town, man.
They ain't using protection. Excuse me for practicing proper, bodily fluid procedures.
Gutting sexual.
That's what I take into the woods with me to hunt.
So did you dive into that thing like Luke Skywalker on Hoth?
Yeah, they took it all away from me.
They did?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Did you just watch it at that point?
That was Solo.
No,
it wasn't.
Luke did
It was
when he was in the
Luke
snow.
Luke Skywalker when he had to get warm.
Solo.
Yeah.
It wasn't Han Solo.
Han cut it open and stuck him in there.
No,
Okay,
Luke
but
cut
they
it
were-
open and got in it.
No, Luke was knocked
half
out.
dead.
But Luke went in to the deer, and Steven said that he had to go into the deer, and because Nate got kicked out.
What are we talking about?
Who was in
You not getting deer eggs.
who was in the deer?
I don't know.
I
A lot of
ended up
names
gutting it.
being thrown out there. I got lost.
Yeah, I ended up gutting it, and then I think the next year I got one, and Nate finally, he's like, I was like, you want to learn how to do this? He's like, yeah. And he's like, is there,
Can I
I'm
get
like,
my
it's not a
gloves?
human body. You're not doing surgery. Just gut it, rip it, pull stuff out. You're going to get blood everywhere. Spread your legs so you don't throw it on your boots and your pants.
Huh? Do you just get in there and like, is it like a 3-point stance? Get in there and just start long snap or shoveling?
Pretty
Yep.
much.
Have your buddy spread the back legs, hold them so you got a little bit easier access. Get in there, cut it open. Make sure you don't tear anything in the stomach lining or the urine sac, and just rip everything out and just make sure everything's out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. I couldn't hold my own.
No, we established Nate as a gatherer, and at the end of the world scenario, Nate is a gatherer, and I will be the hunter.
Okay.
Nate gets to pick the berries and the eggs and the
Yeah, like
flowers.
year one with Jack Black. Nate is Jack Black in year one. He is not a successful hunter, and he's actually I've never seen him gather anything. He just goes to the grocery store.
No, he goes out to the chicken coop,
Allegedly,
collects the eggs.
Allegedly.
I haven't seen him. I have not physically seen him do
I
it,
have
so
a feeling
I don't know.
Gravy gathers the eggs.
What do you mean?
I can see Gravy, gently picking up the eggs. I could see him doing that.
He trains the dog to go get the eggs.
That
That's
dog
his
is
breakfast.
smart.
That's smart.
The dog?
Well, the dog
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Everyone is
that's,
so lost
That's what
right
he's
now.
doing. It's the hidden part. Is he's like the eggs are for the dog. The dog eats the eggs, and Gravy's just getting fat, and then eventually he's going to eat the dog. That's exactly
So
that's
wrong.
exactly how this goes. Yeah.
So wrong.
Yeah, and then he'll call me. How do I do this?
I don't want to get dog aids.
I can't find it on YouTube.
Dog aids.
Why did I
God.
really do this?
It's a mess, isn't it?
You asked for a shit show.
I
mean,
did.
Yep, that's what it is.
I started it. You're welcome.
Yeah.
It's all his
How
fault.
long have you two known each other?
Too fucking long.
You guys have been, yeah. I was gonna say you guys have been best buds for a long time.
Fourth,
He
fifth
came
grade.
in for Cub Scouts.
What was the
and,
first thing, Nate? What was the first thing that Steven ever said to you?
Wait, you guys met in Cub Scouts?
Yeah, my
You got
dad
a
was
pretty
the
mouth.
pack leader, and Nate was kind of like sitting all mopey and droopy on the bench, and nobody was talking to him. My dad's like, "Go make a new friend."
I'm picturing Steven. I'm picturing Steven coming over to you, Nate, and sitting down and going, "Hey, has that guy tried to touch you yet?"
Are you going to eat that?
I've seen this movie. Don't stay away from him.
Oh my God.
Cub Scouts. I didn't realize you guys were.
You want to be friends?
You want to be friends?
Yeah, Nate had a little bowl cut. I might have a picture for
You want to play
blackmail.
with my derby
Oh
card?
my God, Nate with the bowl cut. That is epic.
I didn't have no
We should
fucking
get
bowl
t-shirts
cut.
made.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
You had a
fucking
bowl cut sitting at Pinewood
T-shirts.
Derby.
Shut the fuck up.
T-shirts or it didn't happen.
All right, I'm bringing it to COBRA.
You ain't bringing shit.
That's great.
Did you guys
That's
go
great.
to the Arrow of Light? Or did you cut out?
No, I ended up cutting out. Sports
What'd you say?
Sports took over. The Arrow Light. That goes into Boy Scouts. It's like the highest level of it.
Of Cub
Mhm.
Scouts. Boy Scouts is
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What's the other one for Boy Scouts? God, I can't
Eagle.
remember now. Eagle.
Yeah,
There
Eagle
you go.
Scout.
Eagle. Yeah.
That's high school.
Yeah, I never got to do cool stuff like that.
My dad. got
I was in
Eagle
it for
Scout.
Pinewood Derby and boat races.
Pinewood Derby always looked fun.
I
We
should
need
have
to
known.
do Pinewood Derby with fireworks.
Yeah, line rockets.
Yeah.
That's called a
Just paint.
cyber
I mean,
truck
everybody's
with
got
fireworks.
DJI drones in Pyro. We should just all paint our drones and put fireworks on them and have like our own Red Bull event.
Isn't it very complicated to do fireworks and drones legally?
Yeah, legally.
You go with that word again, legally.
Legally.
Supposedly, this guy's got all the land we need. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dedicated for scientific research.
this
It's
is
got lots of
scientific
poison
research.
ivy, though.
Just remember, it's only illegal if you get caught.
And if we get caught, you're deaf, he's stupid, and you don't speak any English.
Or the
That's
poison
easy for
ivy
me.
strand.
No say.
No, you're colorblind. You didn't know any better.
Yeah, you couldn't have done it. You were colorblind. Those colors were spot on.
Nate, did you get into fireworks before Steven did?
Actually, it was really kind of the same time. Once we
Well,
turned
for
18.
OPAG, yes, he
For
had a year
OPAG,
on
he
me.
did,
but
because I think
we-
I knew Nate before you came in, but I'm
Yeah.
like wondering where along your life journeys you guys were like, let's go
High
to the
school.
fireworks store and let's
Yeah.
spy some stuff.
High school.
High school.
The minute
Yeah.
we turned 18, that's how I know my driver's license from memory. From filling all those forms out.
and we were lighting them off in Hell, Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we started our senior year in high school. We bought a bunch of fireworks, and then we took them down to my property with a couple other friends from high school. And Nate and I built this pretty stupid but cool thing. We called it the can of whoop ass. We took a bunch of metal Folger coffee cans and bought
Yeah.
a shit ton of bottle rockets, neon whistlers, moon travelers. We cut the stems. We wrapped a fuse around it, the top of the cans, placed the fuses for the rockets on it. We had, 6 cans, Nate?
It was a lot.
And we tied all the fuses down in the middle, lit it. That fucking thing went off for like 10 minutes and smoked out the whole valley of my property, and it smoked out the highway. But you could see like the neons going through it.
Yeah.
And freaking deputy was like, "What are you guys doing?" We just opened up a can of whoop ass. It's like, "Oh, okay." Well, you're clouding out the highway. We're like, "No, it's okay. It's not a major highway. It's 2 lane. It's fine."
It's okay,
Major
sir.
highway.
That one doesn't count.
Doesn't
Let's
matter.
be
It's
real.
minor.
It's not a real highway.
Yeah.
That's
State
a
barely paves
that's
it.
a
It's
state
fine.
route.
Yeah.
You guys don't even plow that thing.
But we started there, and then that camp I went to as for a diabetic camp was ran by the Seventh-day Adventist Church group, and then I started
Yeah.
volunteering up there. And their family camp falls on July 4th weekend, and they went to Mount Vernon, which is 20-30 minutes away, for a 4th of July show, and they said it was pretty crappy.
Yeah.
So Nate and I just one year started buying fireworks and took them up there and setting them off,
Yeah.
and went from there. And then we met you through the fire department out at Knowles' property for Bruce's memorial.
Yep.
And then I think I had hip surgery. Yeah, I had hip surgery, so I couldn't do OPAG. So Nate got in a year before me, and then I came in the next year after that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what did Bruce's show made you guys go, this is really cool? Like, this is so much different than what we're used to with consumer fireworks and
We're lighting
things like
cheap
that.
Menards quality
Yeah.
fireworks off, and then you're blowing up big shit.
Yeah.
I had never seen anything like that, and
Yeah.
until then, and actually, I didn't realize it till afterwards that I had actually started watching like your videos on YouTube
Oh, really?
and had followed you on YouTube before I even met you.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And I didn't realize it till you emailed me the application, and I'm like, that sounds fucking familiar, man. I know that from somewhere. God damn.
It's a small world.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because back in high school, I did a lot of stuff like theater.
Yeah.
In terms of like the stage crew stuff, the lighting and all that. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a natural gravitation to go from something like
Totally.
that to pyrotechnics,
Yeah. Well, yeah, like being behind the scenes and kind of having that that technical acumen for what makes the stuff work and tick. I mean, the first time, like, you geek out when you go up to a just command central at a fireworks show and you see all this gear laying out and you're like, oh my God, this is going to control the show. I'm in.
I was trying not to touch everything at Bruce's show.
Yeah.
Same.
It was just, I'd never seen anything like that until then.
And like at Bruce's show, like you guys had a lot better quality and bigger fireworks than we could ever get our hands on. And we tried talking to Chillicothe Fireworks about getting our license. And they kind of gave us this run around that you have to be with us for so many years, this and this.
Yeah.
And with you, you're like, hell no, dude, fill out this application, pay your dues, and bam, you're in.
Yeah.
Stupid easy.
Yeah.
And you guys, like when we were asking questions, you and everybody else was very open and answering, and you guys were very welcoming. And that was a huge plus for me. And like Nate is good with the audio and the technology side of things, where I just like building stuff and blowing shit up.
Right. Yeah.
So
Which, I mean, you get a good healthy mix of all of it. And I think that's why the hobbyist, and like the nonprofit scene is a really good place for people to start. But the problem is like the way you guys found it is really cool, because you were part of the fire department, and then you came to that show. I mean, when that stuff comes into the fire department and somebody files for a permit, do you guys like does a list go out? Does like a notification go out the fire department? You're like, hey, there's going to be a fireworks show on this night. Does anybody want to work it? I mean, because like that sounds to me like sheer happenstance that you guys even went to the show.
Yeah. So we don't get very many of them, obviously, from where our territory is. But we always send a crew. And in all the years that they used to do all those shows out at Brian's house, we would have engine crews there all the time.
Yeah.
For it.
I bet was it kind of like real talked up at the firehouse when the Knowles property was going to have
a lot of those people were kind of gone.
Really?
There were still a couple of the older people that were there, and they said, man, those used to be the best shows ever.
Yeah.
And then Nate, like, I didn't know anything about it. Nate talked it up. So
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you want to go to a doctor's house and watch them blow up some pretty badass shit?
You go to a doctor's
and I'm like,
house.
yeah, who's all going? And it was me, him, and like two others. And I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm in.
Yeah. It's cool the way things work out, man. And like just from the commercial side of the industry, I kind of noticed that too when I first got involved. And it's not that the display company that I approached in the territory was necessarily a gatekeeper, but they always give that off because I think they're all very protective about, their company IP and how they do things. And, when they do finally recruit shooters who have aspirations to become lead shooters, they don't want them going out and becoming competition. Whereas like the nonprofit scene solely exists to try to educate people. So it's a different goal set. I think it's a different outlook.
Like for that camp, we did a lot of business with Chillicothe Fireworks because it was on our way up to the camp. It was up in Knox County, up in Danville. Yeah. And we did a lot of business with them, and Nate would go in and he would talk to them like, hey, what do you think about this? And like, they would kick ideas back with us. They'd give us recommendations, and for the most part, they took care of us. And then they'd throw in a few extra things. And then we built a really good relationship with them through the years, and that helped. But when we started asking like how to get in it, their biggest thing was insurance and liability. And I'm like, I get that.
Yep. Yeah.
But we didn't pursue it that much. It was just kind of like, okay. But with you guys and OPAG, it was a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah. And it will too, because to a point when you guys want to go sit for your state lead exams, you guys participate, and well, not only do you participate, the club as a whole can see how much you've both progressed in what you're doing. So you're not going to you won't get any pushback from anybody when it comes to signing off on letters, attesting to your competency. Whereas I don't know what that process is like for companies in the territory. It's got to be different, because I know that there's some companies that will take on assistants, and then you have to be a borderline, like you have to show how into that company, an integral part of the company you are, for them to even consider moving you to a lead. Because at that point, you're given the responsibility, and you're given the okay within the state to go, probably you could work and do your own thing if you wanted to, because the license is under your name at that point. Just the letter of recommendation is what comes from a licensed shooter.
And I think, like, I'm not saying that they weren't educated, but I don't know if they knew, like, the in-depth, like, resources and the avenues that we wanted to go, to where OPAG can be like, hey, we can do that, or we can't do that. Or, hey, if you want to try something different, or if you want to help out, we'll watch you, but we have to sign off on it. Like, everybody works together. And if I have any questions, I get a solid answer, or I don't know, but let me ask.
Yeah. Right. And then you're really direct in the way that you approach the hobby too. I mean, you're not shy about telling people what it is that you want to get from the hobby, and what kind of satisfaction you're looking for from the hobby. And I think that that's something that I wish more members had, right? That they knew that they come into fireworks, and after 6 months or their first year, they're like, okay, I feel like I know enough to know what to tell leadership, what I'm hoping to gain from my experience here.
Right. And then, like, I had a conversation, I know, like, Nate and I have talked about it. Like, how long do I want to be an assistant? Do I want to be a lead? And then, you talk to one person, I don't like being a lead because this. Then the next person, well, I love it. Next person, well, you have to do this. So I'm kind of getting different answers, but it just, I feel like some people, they thought it was something else in their mind than what it actually is. And you had to either put in more work, or you had more responsibility that they didn't realize, and they were a little nervous. And like, I talked to Carol and Logan, because Logan said he was the lead, because we went down to Little Hawking and did a shoot with him. And he was like, I'm nervous, but I know what I'm doing. And we all worked off each other. Everything went great. Show was great. There was no issues. It worked out perfect. And then I was talking to Carol. She's like, I'm okay with being an assistant. I have no intentions of being a lead. That's not something I want to pursue. And currently, I'm okay with being an assistant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know Nate talked about maybe going further with it.
Yeah.
But currently, right now, I'm okay with being an assistant and just handling it and lighting it and setting up shows. I'm okay with doing the grunt work.
Yeah. The administration side of the permitting process, lining up insurance, dealing with the sponsor, it's all part of that, which you mentioned that there isn't a ton of training on. That's the stuff that nobody really sees, because that interaction almost always happens just between the parties involved. And, when I was trying to become a lead, and I really kind of had to, I tried to dive in and really kind of pick Doug's brain and Brian's brain. I spent a lot of time with those guys, and a couple of the fire inspectors and the AHJs, just that were really open with information, trying to learn, like, hey, what do you like to see out of your lead shooters? Because that was all the world that I was probably the most terrified of, because it's the stuff that you don't know, but you also need somebody that's so versed in it that they know it like the back of their hand to be able to teach it. Because you could have somebody that does it all the live long day, and they may not be the greatest teacher and not know how to explain it. And that kind of convolutes things and makes it hard too, because like the resource pool is just, it's not there because there's less leads than there are assistants. But you're absolutely right, dude. I mean, you don't have to, that's the beauty of, getting involved with an entity, whether it's a commercial entity or a nonprofit entity, is just getting on a crew with a lead shooter. You don't have to be the lead. If you just like to do this stuff for fun, to scratch the itch and be part of something special, you can totally do it.
Yeah, like we went to a Clippers game. We were up at camp last year. We left the camp to come down for the Clippers game, and the AHJ, he was Columbus Fire. He was very strict, and he was very specific on what he wanted.
Mhm.
And I'm like, dude, calm down. I'm not in charge here. But I asked him, I'm like, why do you need my certification? You want a picture of my certification? Why do you want a picture of my driver's license? And he was like, well, that's just how I do things. I'm like, okay. I said, the only reason I'm asking is because I haven't been asked anywhere else, just to see that I have my shooter's assistance certificate or license. And he was like, yeah, I just do it this way because this is how I do it. And I'm like, I'm not fighting. I'm not arguing. I'm just curious as to why you've done it, which I've never done it anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then he explained to me like his side. And I'm like, so what all is involved with you? This, that, very open, very informative. And it helped me out. And like I was talking to Nate and I was like, we didn't have to do that for this shoot or that shoot. And he's like, it just varies.
Yeah. Which I think that brings about an even broader question, which is at the state level, as far as the regulations go, at least how they administer shows and create standards and practices. I wonder why at the state fire marshal's office, they haven't developed just a really standard process that's distributed to all of the inspectors on how to do that stuff.
When you take your inspector class, it is laid out in that.
I mean, is it very specific on some of the detailed stuff, or is like,
so it's specific on laws in terms of things, not so much on the paperwork side.
Like processing.
How do you fill out all that? Yeah, there's not much in that. It's more of the laws of everything.
Gotcha.
And it's all done through NFPA too.
Yeah.
But then you got a lot of places where, you know, they may not have actually certified fire inspectors. It's just, hey, you're going to be in charge of it. You know, they don't fucking know everything. And that's why a lot of the shows we do, we don't have to worry about it because, you know, we know what the fuck we're doing, but
yeah,
the fire department has no clue.
Yeah.
And like, so I've been through a POTA certification. I've been through Fire One. It teaches you just enough to get in trouble or just enough to get killed, but it doesn't like file down to the fine motor skills of what it takes to run something like that.
Yeah.
And we've been through Nate, 3 fire department, like county volunteer departments last year. And 2 of them were like, hey, I don't care what you guys do. You know what you're doing. I'm just here to make sure nothing burns to the ground. But you guys are educated. You have experience. You guys are insured. You know what you're doing. And they've worked with us, with OPAG throughout the years. And they're like, we trust you 100%. Whatever you guys say goes. One of them is like, I honestly don't know what I need to do. I just know I need to sign a paper.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that side of it was interesting. I mean, it was kind of advantageous for me when you guys got involved in the club because it almost did make me feel like now I had a resource, right? You know, like there's people that I can bounce stuff off of and say, hey, you know, I'm curious what it's like on the other side of the fence for the fire inspectors and like the trainings that you guys go through and how the state handles everything.
The only thing,
symbiote circle.
Like for the Knowleses, the only thing I was told was if something catches fire, you have to wait till the pyro group tells you it's safe, and then go up and put the fire out.
Yeah,
And other than that,
Don't spray the nice electronic equipment.
yeah, well, I have common sense, but so at the Knowles's, one of the fireworks over the dam started catching the grass on fire, and I'm freaking to go down there in the truck with Nate, and Nate's captain. He just gets out of the truck and moseys out. And I'm freaking putting the water pack on. I'm busting ass up the hill. And he's like, it's going to burn out. And I was like, I fucking got it. Squirt, 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 squirt. I was like, I'm doing my
Volunteer
job.
that takes his job seriously.
I'll get around to it one of these days.
Yeah, that's old Nate. He's like, did you put it out? And I said, I got it, boss. Fucking sucking wind. He's just casually driving around the property.
Well, he's got it figured out. If he goes slow enough, he'll do it. He's laughing because he knows it's true. Somebody else to step up.
Oh my God.
That's why he's an officer. That's why he's a third responder.
Yeah. Work smarter, not harder.
Yes. He does the rule of thumb. If you can stand back and close one eye and cover it with your thumb, you're far enough back.
The shark thing was pretty cool at Bruce's show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you paddling out when
that was fun.
Thing caught fire.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the first time that I used COBRA's relay. I actually used a relay to trigger lights on something.
And it wasn't battery thing. That was fun.
Yeah. Because and then we found out that it had a timeout. Yeah, right. That it had a timeout on it.
Oh, God. It's a good thing we found it out, though.
I was telling one of the guys, I was like, I want to go out on the boat with Bo. And they're like, why? And I was like, I'm a firefighter. He's not. And they're like, you want to get in the water with him? And I'm like, fuck yeah. He seems like a cool dude. And then the assistant chief's like, you're not going out there. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, you're a volunteer. We didn't take out that grand of an insurance policy on you.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid to be here. I'm just here to blow shit up.
Oh my God. Well, boys, this is we're at 2.5 hours. You guys want to call it? You got anything else big we want to talk about? Any super non-substantive stuff that we want to make sure to hit before we wrap this one?
Non-substantive stuff.
Non-substantive stuff. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I learned a lot about hunting tonight, which is good.
And gutting.
Gutting.
And deer aids. Deer aids awareness.
Deer aids.
And GMC's rule.
Right.
GMC's rules.
GMC's are the best, yeah.
Jamie's assless chaps are in the mail.
Remember, Jamie, $200.
Did I finally have a colorblind brother?
You're not alone in it.
I know. It makes me feel so much better.
Yeah, right. You guys should start a bowling team.
There we go. We will start our own Pyro club.
There we go.
Now, hold on.
Bowling team?
Now, hold on. If you start a bowling team, Nate can't hit the fucking pins.
No, you're good. The pins are white. There's probably not a color that looks more white than bowling pins.
If you're colorblind, what does global look like?
What is
it just looks
fucked
dark and yellow.
Dark and yellow.
Dark gray and light gray.
I don't know. Actually, it looks more like purple and yellow, I guess.
Glow
Everything
sticks.
looks like a color like that.
AJ, did you get excited when 50 Shades of Grey come out? You thought it was like a colorblind book?
No, I was just excited. My wife was reading it.
Oh.
And then, because then I kept hearing it. I'm like, yeah, it's a good part, huh? What page? I'll read it. I'll do it later. You seem to be interested in it.
She handed it to you and said, honey, this is a how-to book.
It's fine with me.
Don't read it out loud.
Close your mouth.
He held the big sausage and then put it in.
What?
That's it. Stroke.
I don't read like that.
Stroke.
He was happy to see that they made it a movie so he could watch how it's supposed to be done.
Get the Cliff Notes.
guy was a chump in there.
Yeah, who needs a safe word? What a pussy. All right. If you'd like to join us on an episode of the Shit Show Roundtable, go join the Patreon, patreon.com/Rhythm Pyro. Go join the Discord server too and start talking about it. Nate Freeman and Stephen McKeever, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We had a good time, dude. This was fun.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, buddy.
It's been fun.
Good talk,
Thank
brother.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
See you guys at
Glad you
COBRA
to me.
Yeah, that'll probably be the next time. Next time I see you guys, I think. And we won't see you in the Angles class, Nate.
No.
Yeah. We'll see Steven, just not Nate.
I don't know. Might try and
Steven
dip out of
cares.
it. We'll see.
Steven
Okay.
cares.
No, we need.
Oh my
Well, you can no longer use the. Bo knows how to use this, so I don't need to take the class. Had your show gone off as it should have, you'd probably be in the Angles class. So I have nobody to blame here but myself.
This is true. He can show you how to do it.
Yeah. What do you think?
This is how you plug it in,
Yeah,
Bo.
But I need to show you something.
Yeah, right.
Look,
That's
Take this in.
it's that line from Tommy Boy. You take the little end, stick it in the big end, and if you don't know how to work a seatbelt, Tommy will come back there and hit you on the head with a tack hammer. That's really if you know how to plug the DB25 cable into the DB25 slat, then
Be nice if
All
I
about the
had
angle of
some.
the
beep that word. I don't think anybody's going to get to 2 hours and 40 minutes. We're good.
I don't know. Everybody's always complaining when it's shorter. Stop talking about it.
Stop talking
40
about
minute
it.
that's what she
episode.
said. Just stop talking about it
Stop talking about it.
before 2 hours and 40 minutes.